It is the 30th of April, the last day of April, the month of April. A good morning to you, cherished viewers. You are welcome to the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host for today, Yayura Awuno. We are coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. And if you're not in the comfort of your home, you can join us via social media on Facebook and on YouTube. Just look for Clock TV GH. Like, share, and subscribe to our pages, and then join in the live stream. Now, here's what to expect for today's morning show. As on the lifestyle segment, we're going to be getting up close and personal with a beloved musician here in Ghana by the name of SAEMK. And then on the main discussion, we're going to also be talking about going beyond the awareness of autism, the autism spectrum disorder. We're going beyond awareness into accepting and integrating it into our societies. So I'm sure you'll be very interested in all these conversations. And then also business and sports will be bringing us highlights and news as always. So do stay tuned for that. But for now, let's get ready to be motivated for the last day of the month of April. Right, as we like to do here, we motivate ourselves and our viewers, and today being the last day of the month of April, today's motivational quote is telling us that we should act as if what we do makes a difference. It does, and this is by William James. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Now, the meaning here is just saying that this quote is a reminder that every action you take, no matter how small or unnoticed, has an impact somewhere. Even when people don't see your effort, it still shapes outcomes, builds habits, and influences change over time. It speaks strongly to consistency, discipline, and purpose-driven living. Now, the simple explanation for this will just be that don't underestimate your actions, and even the small things you do daily matter more than you think. So, like a student studying quietly every night, they may not see instant results, but over time, those unseen efforts lead to success in their exams and in life. Now, as we are about to enter the month of May, I hope that this quote, re-energizes you into thinking about your actions. Everything you do, every step you take, don't think that it does not make any impact. There's someone out there whose life is being impacted by that small action, that small word, that small gesture that you have made today. I hope that this motivates you as it has motivated me. Up next is the online and print review with the weather report along with us. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for our online and print review. I have my co-host here with me in the person of Peter Insia, and before we get into the online and print review, he's going to give us the weather report for the day. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Ariel.
I hope you're well.
Up and grateful. Divine selection.
Looking sharp this morning.
Thank you.
The month has ended and something has come.
Thursdays, I love Thursdays because I see Thursday as, the weekend.
The prelude into the weekend.
Exactly. And then, like you rightly said, last day of the month. And so, tomorrow too is another day.
Yes.
And I must say, you're looking, absolutely. I want to use exquisite.
Thank you. That's quite a nice way to start the month of May. Thank you so much. You're also looking very sharp.
Thank you.
We'll take pictures. So yes, what should we expect for the weather forecast for today?
Yes, so as usual, today, according to JMET, so let me just, this is from the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and this is a 24-hour forecast for Ghana. And this morning, so I like to pick the specifics rather than generalizing it. So this morning, Kasua, Aflao, Accra, Cape Coast, Stokrade, Axim, and environs should expect partly cloudy weather. And I'm sure that as we speak, they are seeing something of that sort. And then those within, those at Koko, Florida, Kimboda, Kumasi, Obuasi, and Takwa, this morning, GMET says they should expect misty or mist condition. That's 40%. And as usual, when there's mist, it kind of visibility is not clear. It deteriorates visibility, and GMET advises commuters to ensure that they make good use of their headlight and avoid overspeeding. So the people of Goso and Sunyani as well are experiencing mist condition this morning. And then those in the northern region from Yendi to Wa, it is partly cloudy this morning. As the day progresses into the afternoon, we are still going to experience sunny periods for those in Aflao, Accra, Kasua, Cape Coast, Takrade, Axim, and Ho. It is going to be very sunny this afternoon. And as always, we should reduce our exposure to the sun, take in more water. But for the people of Koforidua and Akim Odan, there's a possibility of rain this afternoon. That's a 40% chance of rain this afternoon. And so the people there should take note. And then the people at Obuasi, Takwa, Sefibekwa, the same sunny periods. And the temperature is between 30 to 34 degrees Celsius, so it's going to be a bit hot. And then for the people in the north as well, it's going to be sunny, but it is going to be very, very hot because the temperature ranges from 38 to 39 degrees Celsius. So it is going to be very, very hot. So the people in the northern region watching us this morning should make good use of umbrellas, taking more water, and also wear clothes that will not absorb much heat. In primary school we were told that when you wear black on sunny days it absorbs heat. And then when you wear white, it's kind of
bounces off.
Yes. As well as the day progresses into the evening as well, the people of Aflao, Accra, Kaswa, Cape Coast, as usual, is going to experience partly cloudy weather. And then the people of Kumasi, Obuasi, there's a possibility of rain there. So Kumasi, Obuasi, Sefibekwa, and Ketikrachi, there's 30% chance of rain there as well. And then Kintampogo, also Sunyani, Techime, Yendi, and Tamale, they're also going to experience partly cloudy weather. But the people of Bole, there's a 30% chance of rain. So if you are at Bole, Bamboy, and its environs, you should expect 30% of rain today. And the people of Bolgatanga as well. For Wa and Lelerugu, it is going to be partly cloudy. And so GMET advises that viewers take key notes and act accordingly.
Right.
And then the state of the sea today is rough. And then when it's rough, it's not that friendly. And so our fisher folks should take notes and ensure that they are safe on the sea.
Right. Thank you so much for the weather forecast. That's the 24-hour impact-based weather forecast from the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Now let's get into our word for the day. I'm sure you have a rap for us.
These days, I mean, Sarkodie
has warned you.
I'm learning. I just want to be perfect and then bounce back.
Okay. Maybe you go to the rap doctor and he will give you 1 or 2 pointers. So the word for the day is epiphany. The word for the day is epiphany. Now, it is a noun, and the meaning is basically a sudden moment of realization or understanding. So that's like a light bulb moment where something suddenly becomes clear. So the words that are very similar in meaning, we have revelation, realization, insight, discovery, and awakening. These are the words that are similar in meaning to the word epiphany. Then the words that are opposite in meaning, we have confusion, misunderstanding, ignorance, uncertainty, and bewilderment. So when you don't have an epiphany, you're most likely going to be confused. You're most likely going to have misunderstandings, or you're probably even ignorant of whatever the situation is. You're also likely to be uncertain or even bewildered. That could be, along the lines of worry. So this is the word for the day. Let's incorporate it into our vocabulary, and I want to hear some of our viewers use it, probably in their comments or in their questions. So thank you so much for joining us for that. Now, straight into the online and print review.
Yeah.
Is there anything you picked up over the week, during the week?
Yes.
Yes, what's up?
A whole lot, but I want to have a bite of the word of the day.
Okay.
Because I like it, because have you heard of I know you've heard of it, this song, Adulthood Na Scam. Yeah, I had my own share this just recently. So I'm just realizing that being an adult is basically saying I'll rest, and that rest never comes. So it's from A to B to back, no rest. So I wish I'm in SHS where I'd have to call mommy,
you don't
daddy.
have that many responsibilities.
It's really serious. So then that's just by the way. So moving forward, a whole lot is transpiring, and I would like to begin with the heavy downpour that happened. That is Wednesday, and this morning I just want to ask a simple question: where are the 100 buses that have been procured? Where
What's
are
a
the
question?
100 buses? Because right after the downpour, it was very difficult getting cars to our workplaces and wherever. And so Wednesday, many people will attest to the fact that most of them will go to work as late as 10, as 11, which of course is not their fault because cars were not available. And others too have attributed to the fact that we don't have good road network. And so once it rains, the roads are no more good for users. When it rains, it creates potholes. Some of the places become choked, and then cars are not able to go in and out.
Yeah.
And especially where cars are readily available. When it rained last Wednesday, there were no cars. Me, for instance, I had to sit for about 2 hours before getting a car to work. And then once you're able to get a car, traffic also sets in. So we are told that these buses are meant to, ease the congestion and what have you. And then these buses, for some time now, we were told they are in and that they are doing inspections and registration. So we want to find out from government where the buses are as we speak, because the ordinary Ghanaian is still suffering. It looks as though there are no cars in the system, and that issue keeps on, happening and all that. So we are just asking a simple question this morning. The Ministry of Transport, where are the 100 buses? When are we going to see these buses on our routes working? So we demand some explanation.
Yeah, piggybacking off that too, the issue of the transport fares, what the drivers have been doing, or the transport operators have been doing, where they will go very short distances to get more money, is still persisting and it's still ongoing. It's still hurting us. And like you said, these buses, where are they? Or like you asked, where are they? Because the buses were supposed to come and alleviate this issue.
Exactly.
And yet I don't think I have seen one.
Yeah.
Even the few that we were told that were in operation, I don't think I've ever come across any.
You hardly see them. Yeah. So.
And do they even operate till the late hours of the night, like the way the usual churches do? Because for them, they'll tell you from about 10 p.m., they say Adia Santi at home. Hey.
So I am of the view that because these bars were brought specifically to solve that issue, they don't have any excuse. If it is one driver who drives the car the whole day, and if it gets to that time, the person will get tired, we can get 2 drivers for each bus for free. So the shift system will work. And so if the car is strong and it's operational, you don't have any excuse by saying you're tired whilst the people are in town. But then I think that when we have all these cars in town, we wouldn't see people as late as 10 in town, looking for cars. And so once the cars start operating, I'm sure that by 8 or latest by 8:39, everybody would have been in the house. There wouldn't be anybody in town, fighting over car and all of that.
But as you're saying then that if the cars are strong and there's a shift system, they should continue. Then this begs the question of the Metro Mass Transit buses. Do they operate beyond 8 p.m.? Have you seen any of those buses, Ayalolo buses, operating after 8 p.m.?
That, so like I said, there's a whole lot that needs explanation, and the ministry should come out to tell us what it actually entails, because we are told that these Metro Mass Transit, they have routes that they ply. They are able to tell where there's pressure and where they need these buses a whole lot. So maybe they operate beyond that time, but for my area, I hardly see those buses. So I'm assuming that
they don't, because when I think on the way home and all of that, when you get to Medina, when it's from about 6 p.m., you will see an empty Metro Mass bus. You cannot board it because it's on my phone.
Then that narrative should change, because these buses were brought because of us. They should put it to use. Then,
operational changes need to be made so that, like you said, maybe a shift system. So I think you're not supposed to drive continuously for more than 6 hours or something, or it was 4. So if maybe there could be breaks, and then the shift could not be just, let's say, 2 people, but it's about 4 people driving the same bus at different times, so that everybody gets some rest. It's also going to be a salary issue, because there's more people being employed. Then all of these people need allocations also being made in the budget. Anyway, moving on, and still on the road issues.
Not to cut you.
Okay, you have another one.
Yes,
okay.
This is just for the road. People will tell you for the road. So the mother in Chad Hospital in Kaswa is also trending. A whole lot is transpiring there. We are told a report indicates that a woman by name Abigail Opoku, unfortunately died at that place when she was referred to that hospital because of some emergency cases. Reports indicate that when she was sent there, the health professionals there said there was no bed and that they were not able to attend to that pregnant woman. That pregnant woman was supposed to get into a cesarean session to be able to deliver. So 36 hours after that whole drama, she passed away. And so people are calling for justice for Abigail Opoku. The reason why people are calling for justice is that it isn't the first time such an issue is happening. And so somewhere in 2025, we had the same issue, 2026. So in April 2024, a 17-year-old boy named Nana Adu died at the facility after his family alleged medical staff administered the wrong medication. This incident led to angry family members vandalizing hospital property. It then ended in May 2025. A 35-year-old woman, Vivian Otu, died during childbirth. Her family also accused nurses on duty of ignoring her screams for help to instead watch videos on TikTok.
Wow.
And then in February 2026, investigation revealed that the hospital was operating with a faulty aesthetic machine in its lone surgical theater, which forced the referral of high-risk cases, and a whole lot is transpired. But before we get deep into whatever is happening, there's a video I think producer should show us.
Okay, let's take a look briefly.
Samford alcohol. Samford for ne can say or more common anything important.
You quite no so. The real who soon airban. Na sim be say or say Sony Bassa. It's a now colano. I'm trying to yin because in so nana a boy colano who by no sooner airban. Into your corners from Casson Bay CS crana, my impupuyeti. Timoko and I make a chair and say, oh, say no maca. No more say CS never boy crying. Manu in sooner or say recovery, I am in Pabi and new recovery. Theatre recovery, tia said you cry now. Oh, yeah, be under recovery. Oko and Oko no so no way. Until your man at time or bell. You call bed 2 before 3 a.m. Kusiana pa, Yamane drew, Yamane, and one saw that. My friend, on my bound chain, Obiamba maintain. O mama bibi, dabi, o makadeng, dabi. Vitals umpo, minkai so much a key, meaning semina me who dia. And one saw that was a munkashi. Oh, pray, no pray, no pray. Castle Munian CS in our main fee.
Right, so that was a video, giving us a brief overview from Channel 1 TV. Thank you so much also. This is very sad.
Yes.
Like, let me calm down. So there are two aspects to this I think I would want to talk about. That is the hospital negligence issue. I mean, we've had lawyer Libret Hesse come on the show oftentimes to educate us, but I think that there is more that needs to be done, because if these institutions or these facilities are not made aware that, look, you can be sued for things like this, they will not take this seriously. And then also, as citizens, we also need to know our rights and all of that. Like you mentioned, that the young boy that ended up losing his life, his family vandalized the hospital, all of that. If they knew about suing and getting some settlements from the hospital, causing this hospital to probably end up in some sort of financial loss and even a PR issue where now the hospital will be known for these things, they probably would have even gotten more compensation from that than vandalizing the, resources there. And coming back to this, it's like, sometimes we talk about how the nurses and doctors don't have that much compassion and empathy for people. And I mean, most of the time our answers to these things are the fact that people are just looking for jobs and they just enter into these fields. But even if you're just looking for a job, this is somebody who's carrying a life. And from the excerpt, you can see that the amniotic fluid was had almost run out. The baby needs to be taken out. Fine, at least do the operation and send them home to recover or something. Something. You left this woman there. Childbirth has been killing women for years. Even now, with all the resources available, how many women in Africa make it? Look at the maternal mortality rates, and then you put somebody through this, a 27-year-old, very young, full of life, with her life ahead of her.
I mean, when it comes to that, I think we are not investing much when it comes to health care. I went to one of the biggest hospitals we have in Accra, in Ghana. So in Accra, I don't want to mention it. I was shocked when I saw the delivery, where child labor, where they deliver and all that. I was shocked. In my head, I was thinking that it was a very ultra-modern, very nice, beautiful place. When I got there, I was shocked. The state of the place, like for a whole government facility, for we to have such a place like this, I was very worried. And then in all this, let's look at the infrastructure. Now, reports indicate that the hospital has just 85 beds, only 10 for adult admission to serve a population of over 300,000. Now, recently, the issue about the no-bed syndrome came up. Even in Parliament, they had debate and a whole lot, minority, majority, back and forth and all that. And then the Minister of Health came out to say that, it is illegal for a hospital to, deny or return a patient saying that there's no bed to admit there. It is illegal. It is not legal for a hospital to turn away a patient because there is no bed. So the minister said, no matter what it is, if it's an emergency and it comes, you have to get provision, provide bed for that person and attend to that person. Because when you do that and the person dies, it becomes a problem. And I understand that they form a committee to actually investigate the cause of this and ensure that prosecution comes in. And I'm hoping that because the Office of the Attorney General is involved, we will definitely see prosecution so that it will serve as, a deterrent to other hospitals. Like you rightly said, this has been happening. And also in terms of the infrastructure too, because it's government, hospital, I'm being attempted to say that because of the bureaucratic process, because when you go to investigate or, interview the managers of the hospital, right, they will tell you they've sent a whole lot complaint about their infrastructure and what have you, but getting them has become a problem. And so as we talk about the fact that there was negligence, we have to also talk about the facilities available to carry out their duties. And so some of these things, we should look at them. And then report also indicate that some churches even donate to the hospital to ensure that they get the equipment to carry out their duties. And then you spoke about the negligence aspect of it. When you talk about it and you don't say it, well, at the end of the day, you become a third person. Because more often than not, patients report that some health professionals ignore them. And it has become something of utmost concern that needs to be addressed. Until we get one to serve as a scapegoat, as we used to say, these things are not going to end. Because most of us go to the hospital and you clearly see that there are some health professionals there who needs to attend to a patient and is busy on his or her phone. But just when you come out to say and you're not able to provide concrete evidence, you tend to be the bad person there. And then going forward, I think some of these things should be looked at because it's very sad. One hospital cannot be recording incidents like this back to back like this. And this is a government hospital. It isn't a private hospital where you say that maybe they don't have what it takes. It is government hospital. Right.
And even still on this issue, there have been, I can even go as far as to say it could even be a form of discrimination. Because obviously I don't think that somebody who came with some severe accident injuries, bleeding from maybe like the artery level where the blood is splatting everywhere, they would have refused that person. Now coming back to the, this pregnant lady, it is something that has been going on where they would be crying for help or they would be, reporting certain feelings they have in their bodies. And it is usually often overlooked and they say, oh, they are being dramatic. It's their first time. They have so many thoughts in their head. And until something bad happens, then they realize, okay, we should have taken this person seriously. Now, because there is no room for recovery, you will not get this woman and her baby out of danger. Why? Because is it because it's a woman, it's childbirth? Because sometimes you even hear people who have been through, giving birth and all of that. They tell you that the nurses themselves tell them, oh, those things, they treat them so poorly, even in that time where they are giving birth, forgetting that your pain threshold and my pain threshold are very different. Exactly. How pregnancy treats one woman varies from the other. And there are so many things different people experience that even up till now, there is still more discovery coming out that, okay, pregnancy can cause this. Even linking this to a story I saw some time back about a lady who became blind just from pregnancy. You know. So looking at all of this, and yet our maternal mortality rates are still this high, and bringing a life into the world is still not treated as such a matter of urgency. It's heartbreaking.
It's very serious, and also for the fact that this hospital is meant to cater for over 300,000 people. One hospital with just 85 beds.
How is that
10
possible?
reserved for adults. It's clearly not possible. So it means that it boils down to infrastructure. It means that in areas where the population is as huge as this, there shouldn't be only. I understand that Awutu Senior 2 government hospitals, and we can talk about the population there. So it means that we should build more hospitals and equip them.
Even if we can't build more hospitals, let us resource the ones we have available with staff, with equipment, because there are so many people out there. I think every year there are graduates from nursing school, from medical school, from wherever, people, you know, even applying to be orderlies, to help out, cleaners. There are so many people out there who are unemployed, and yet we are suffering. Look, 85 to how many? 300?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
this is so sad, man.
And this also, if care is not taken, so it means that, is it that we are not investing much into our health care, or just that the situation just escalates every year? Because when you take a look at the 2026 budget, I mean, there was an increase in the amount that was given as compared to the previous year.
Yeah.
But still, it looks as though the situation keeps on increasing and increasing. And what even spoils everything or kills it or even makes it very difficult is something we'll be talking about. We've rejected $109 million from USA, and we'll be talking about that as well. You know, they've cut the aid, the support and everything since Trump government came into power. They've cut that, and so that is even going to mount more pressure on us. So even putting that one aside, and our very own country, there are certain things that we've not been able to cater for. And now that the support actually that we've been getting to, solve one or two issues, we are not even getting it anymore. And then with this new one, because of the caveat, because of the clauses in it, government has actually rejected it. It's going to be a whole lot of problem. So it's high time, private institutions, government, everyone comes together and ensure that we're able to, furnish or equip our hospitals. These are hospitals right here in the capital. Then if you go down,
the rural areas.
Yes. So it's very difficult. And so I've been hearing people saying that if you have money, it's better you look.
That's the thing that it leads to now. Everybody is looking for a way to have so much money that these things don't affect them anymore. Yeah. But it gets to a point where no matter how much money you have, Ghana can happen to you. Exactly. And that is unfair to us because our basic needs are not being met. And like you said, these monies that, grants and help from other countries and other institutions, now we are not even going to be getting that much anymore. Yeah. But even before this issue of not getting, the ones we used to get, where is the accountability that, okay, this money was put into this and that? Because we have a number of hospitals all around. Some people have, built their own small hospitals and they're trying to do what they can and all of that. But even the government ones and all this money, like you were saying, we are not going to be getting more. But the ones we got, where's the evidence? How much of it was put into healthcare? That being said, may her soul rest in peace, and hopefully the perpetrators of such a grievous act will be brought to book. Now, still on sad news, we recently heard that a UCC lecturer and his teaching assistant died in a fatal road crash en route to Winneba. And basically the story was that they were driving to Winneba and they realized that there was a truck that seemed to have problems. So they sort of drove away and went to stop somewhere to get away from the truck, and some way, somehow, this truck drove into them and, capsized, is that the word? Yes. Fell over them and trapped both of them, causing them fatal injuries and, in essence, to lose their lives. And the main question I have for this may be a question for road safety, is that they took the necessary precaution that was to, try to find safety. Yeah. And yet this thing still happened to them. So what is the way forward? Should they have driven away, sped off? What is the way forward?
Maria, it's a very sad situation. And talking about, as we keep on talking about it, it becomes so, it's something I didn't want to actually talk about because of how sad it is. Sometimes things like this, somebody will say life happens. So we just pray that anytime you leave your house and you're able to go back, you thank God. Because some of these things are unforeseen contingencies. You can be in your lane, follow all the rules, the regulation and everything, and still life will happen to you. So some of these things, it is avoidable though. I think investigations are still ongoing on this very issue. But then I think that it could partly be as a result of, some form of reckless driving or something. And as usual, as the National Road Safety has been preaching, they've been preaching of road safety, over speeding and what have you. So I think that with time, as time goes on, that thing will sink into the head of Ghanaians and come to realize that, see, life is just one. When you misbehave and you lose it, and that is it. And for the fact that this has actually happened right after the investigation, whoever might have caused the accident should face the law.
I think it is the truck, because the lecturer and his teaching assistant, they noticed the issue from a distance and then went to find safety somewhere. So when we are evaluating it, they did the needful, they did the right thing. Exactly. But some way, somehow, so is it that when they saw that the truck was coming, they should have sped off? We don't even know the circumstances, at the time, the road. Were they coming towards, or were they ahead, going in the same direction, all of that. And I think that it is the truck driver and wherever the truck is coming from that a lot of investigation needs to be done, conducted upon them. Because could it be that the truck was not properly serviced? Could it be that the driver was tired? Could it be that he was drunk or something? All these road safety rules and regulations, were they followed? Because these people try to get to safety to protect their lives. And it now makes us wonder that there may be times you will do the right thing and still. So
it means that in everything, it means that collaboration, or if one person, tend to do his part and the others neglect their part, it wouldn't solve the problem. And so some time ago we were talking about repairing or using our railways so that heavy trucks or heavy metals and other things would rather use the rail, not use our busy roads. Yeah. So these are some of the things. We have, heavy trucks using our roads, times when the roads are busy for, people moving, going to job and what have you. I think that there are times that these heavy trucks, these heavy tankers are supposed to use the road. And when it is busy, let's say early in the morning and then late afternoon, they should pave way for these commercial cars and these private cars to ply the route. But it looks as though, like you said, we have the rules and regulations. As early as 7 or 6 a.m., you see these heavy trucks on the road this morning, causing traffic and whatever.
The bus I picked nearly had a collision with a truck and they were insulting each other. So our driver had to just try to slow down and then let the truck pass before we lose our lives.
Yeah, it's an issue. And so we need to look at some of these things to make our roads safe. Because these days, when you go and you come, it's hallelujah.
And it shouldn't be the case because, this is life. You should only die when, it's been apportioned for you to die, not because of somebody's, bad behavior. But that being said, there's a press statement from the University of Cape Coast, and it's an official press release. Official statement on the passing of Dr. Kwabena Koforobor Ajiman and Mr. Peter Amwedu Asma. So Cape Coast, Tuesday, 28th April 2026, the management of the University of Cape Coast, UCC, has received a profound shock with deep sorrow the untimely passing of one of its distinguished faculty members, Dr. Kwabena Ajiman and Mr. Peter Asma, and that's his teaching assistant. Now, Dr. Ajiman, together with his teaching assistant, Peter Asma, lost their lives in a tragic motor accident at Third Ridge on the Cape Coast Accra Highway. The late Dr. Ajiman was a senior lecturer in the Department of Geography and Regional Planning at the University of Cape Coast, and he was a highly respected member of the university's academic community, known for his dedication to teaching, research, and service. His invaluable contributions and presence will be deeply missed by colleagues, students, and all who had the privilege of knowing and working with him. Now, Mr. Amoedu Asma, on the other hand, was a national service person who graduated from the Department of Geography and Regional Planning, UCC, in the previous year. He distinguished himself academically as the overall best graduating student of the department. Now, management and the entire university community extend heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Our thoughts and prayers are with them during this difficult time. The University of Cape Coast appeals to the public, especially to the media, to be circumspect and sensitive in their reportage. And this is by Kwabna Inchi Konedu, the acting director of the Directorate of Public Affairs. So this is a press statement by the University of Cape Coast. Then again, our heartfelt condolences to the families, the bereaved families of Peter Asma and Dr. Ajiman, as well as the family of the lady who also lost her life due to the negligence at Kaswa. It's a sad news.
Yes.
Okay, now regaining composure. Coming to the last story for today, 4 power generation units have been restored at Akosombo, and this is by the Energy Minister. So, briefly, government has restored a 4th power unit at the Akosombo Dam as it works to stabilize electricity supply nationwide. The announcement came from the Energy Minister, Dr. John Jinapor, in a Facebook post on April 28, and he said the unit came back online at 9:09 p.m. shortly after the 3rd unit was fixed. According to the minister, the restoration significantly improves generation capacity and shows the commitment of technical teams responding to the fire-related disruptions. So, Peter, it looks like what we discussed on Tuesday will be coming to an end, hopefully.
Exactly. And that is commendable. That is commendable. It means the engineers are working tirelessly. It's commendable. But I still do not erase the fact that there are so many serious questions that needs to be answered. And that I'm still on the 7-member committee that has been established to dive deep to investigate the cause of the fire. I still have a whole lot of problems, but then let's break it down, the whole thing.
Break it down for me.
Yes, so we are told that the fire destroyed 1,000 megawatts, which is about 20 to 25% of Ghana's electricity supply. And so we are told that during peak hours, the country uses about 4,000 to 4,400 megawatts. And for a single, fire outbreak, for a single disaster to destroy this substation is questionable. Now, the Akosombo Dam has 6 generating units, each with about 170 to 173 megawatt capacity, which in total comes together to in total we have like 1,020 megawatts for that very substation at Akosombo. And then when it got bent, this actually distracted power nationwide. And then for the energy minister to say that the 4th unit has been, restored, it means that it has brought back about 680 to 700 megawatts. And this is, like I said, commendable. But there are so many critical questions that need to be asked, and we are demanding for answers. Like you said, Thursday, we spoke about a whole lot. Tuesday, we spoke about a whole lot. I actually was dwelling on the reports, the feedback from the Ghana National Fire Service, and what I actually expect that the 7-member committee will answer. And now there's also another question that I want to also ask, that do we even have a service station at that substation, that place? Do we have a service station? What is the security like at that place? Because if you take a look at the investment, the amount of money we are investing into the energy sector, if it happens that we don't have any security at that place, it's questionable. Now, talking about whether we having a fire service station at that place too, we should also ask of the equipment. If we have one there, what is the state of the station like? Do they have the required equipment? Because more often than not, we hear the Ghana National Fire Service complain or talk about the lack of equipment, the fire tenders, and what have you. And then government comes, government goes. Every government that comes promise to get them, these equipment to enhance their activities. Fast forward in 2026, 2025, the finance minister announced that this year they are going to retool the Ghana National Fire Service. They are going to provide 100 fire tenders for them. As we speak, report indicates that they've not received any of that sort. And then the report from the Ghana National Fire Service also indicate that for the past 15 years now, they've not received or they've not had any major retooling. And some of the equipment they are using are I'm just a few years older than those equipment. Over 22 years ago. You don't expect that. I mean, as I'm here, the strength I had when I was 17, 18 years, you can't compare it to the strength I have currently. So for them to be using equipment which are as old as 22 years, no replacement, nothing, and we expect them to fight a whole lot, it's questionable. And so like I said, I have been commending the Ghana National Fire Service because they are doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
So they need to provide them with these facilities. Also, as we talk about them, has there been any form of training for these people? Let's say if you were recruited into the service somewhere in 2001, that same, techniques, that same idea you were given is what you are still, working with.
There should be updates.
So we should find out all these things. Sometimes when these incidents happen, we tend to put our frustration on the Ghana National Fire Service, without considering what actually helps them to carry out their duties. That's the equipment and what have you. And so I'm also asking the question this morning that do we have fire service station there? And then if we have, what is the state of it? What is the security like? Because a whole lot of money has been invested into our energy sector. And then I'll be giving some figures as well. And then as we speak, we are all talking about technology.
Yeah. And
this substation provide about 1,020 megawatts of electricity, and that powers some part of this country. For it to just go waste just like that is something questionable.
Yes, it's very questionable.
It's questionable. So what are we using in terms of technology? When you go to the advanced countries, before such a thing happens, it gives them
there will be some warnings.
You understand? And so it means that when you research, you realize that this Akosombo Dam was built somewhere in the 60s. It had its major retrofitting in 2006. That's when they did some changes to equipment and what. So how many years now? And look at the load it is carrying.
Yeah.
The population has increased. The load, the industries, these equipment that we use. What are we doing?
This question you asked also, drives into my question, which is a bit broader, in that, first of all, this fire incident should be a wake-up call to, for us to really see the vulnerability of the Akosombo Dam, everything, the power stations, everything. And then also, if we are to lose, let's just say Mintu Sebi, because this is our very cherished resource. If we are to lose the Akosombo Dam, what happens to us as a nation? What happens to our electricity supply? Do we have alternatives? And these alternatives, can they match the capacity of the Akosombo Dam at the moment? If not, what is the way forward? Because yes, we have Bui Dam and Zikbon Dam. There are talks about going into renewable energy, thermal plants and some other options. But how feasible is it? Can we get to the point where we can say that, okay, half of the national grid does not depend on the Akosombo Dam. We are depending on maybe other options. And so the Akosombo Dam, the pressure on it has eased so much that now they can even do some structural changes, like you're saying, replace all these over 40-year-old, equipment and resources. without interrupting the flow of electricity for the nation. Yeah. Can we do that? Is it happening?
I mean, yeah. So, now we are, gearing towards the deployment of solar, the other stuff, but I think it's not enough. You need to invest more. So the point I was trying to make is that for one substation control room, if one substation control room could shut down an entire 1,020 megawatt plant, and then that means that exposes a dangerous lack of redundancy. There are no replacement, like nothing. So if just one substation are taking 1,020 megawatts, I mean, like a whole lot needs to be done. A whole lot needs to be done. And in a modern power system, I mean, it's serious. I don't want to make some point, but then in 2026, the 2026 budget, government announced plans to retool. That's what I said, the Ghana National Fire Service starting in 2026. These include procurement of 100 new fire tenders and assorted modern firefighting equipment. Now, I don't know if it is too early to ask, but then it is not too early. Looking at this year alone, the fire incidents we've experienced, it is not. I don't think it is early to ask for those, those equipment that government has promised.
Because we are just ending the 4th month of the year.
Yes.
We are 4 months into the year.
Yes.
After May, when we enter June, the year March at 2.
Exactly.
What is the update? So it is a very valid question to ask. Even if it is that there are some procurement issues or delays, at least we deserve to know what's happening, so that if we need to extend grace or actually keep them on their toes to do what they promised to do. I mean, because 4 months is quite a while. Exactly. We should know what's going on by now.
And so, lastly, before I end my submission on this, so I spoke about the investment. In 2025, government spent $1.47 billion to settle some independent power producers and what have you. $1.47 billion. This is the amount of money we are spending. And then when it comes to security, how to protect this investment, we are not seeing anything of that sort. It means that we are spending the money without thinking of what we are going to gain from it. Because, this is a very serious issue. Just that you can't talk more about it. If you try to talk, it means that you are trying to politicize it or trying to put pressure on government. But it's a serious issue. For 2025 to 2030, government is seeking about $4.4 billion just for the energy sector alone. So if this is the amount we are seeking and we are not even protecting what we have, it's questionable. And then the fact that, where the minister made the announcement, before now, most Ghanaians had issues with, ministers announcing national issues, issues of issues that are very important, issues that the ordinary Ghanaian needs to, carry out his or her duty. Yeah. And the Minister of State is announcing it on a Facebook platform. Yeah,
that is also not a good look.
You understand? This is a critical issue. People are losing their businesses, and a whole lot. People are losing a whole lot of money. Yeah. And so it would have been better if, let's say,
press release or
something, rather than it being on, just on Facebook. Even though Facebook, it travels fast, but with a pertinent issue like this, it shouldn't be the form too.
I think it should have even been a press conference where now the traditional media can also pick it up. Exactly. Because how many people in some, remote area, rural area have access to Facebook to see this information? Exactly. And considering the fact that even though we know that the stations, TV stations, radio stations would also pick that up. If we had a press conference where it is live being broadcasted, these people would hear firsthand from the minister that, okay, this is what's happening, so take heart, the supposed doomsaw is not going to be persistent anymore. It would have helped. And I think our leaders know this, so...
Daily updates. And also, we deserve to get at least I'm joining the people who are saying a timetable. At least we need a timetable, and we understand that the minister said that is going to be somehow difficult because they are moving from places to places. But at least there should be a timetable
for us. A 24-hour prior notice or something.
Exactly. That's that the possibility of my light going out at this time of the day or night is high, so that you prepare ahead of that. Because regardless of whatever has happened, business must continue.
Yeah.
And so we have to deploy other means. But then if you don't know what is happening, you don't know what can actually happen at any moment, it becomes very sad. So I think that in as much as the ministry is working, the other people are working to ensure that they solve this issue once and for all. I think that the ordinary Ghanaian needs, daily updates or a timetable to ensure that he or she is able to carry out his duties. So if I know that, maybe tomorrow by 6 p.m., my light will go off, I have something to do at that time, I'll probably do it before that time.
Yeah.
Rather than you just being there and it goes off just like that. And so going forward, I think the ministry is doing very well. The minister is doing well. The other engineers, everyone is doing well. And on behalf of the ministry and government, I would like to also say that it's very hard, but then we should have patience. We are talking about stability here. I said it some time ago that development comes with pain. You understand? If you don't endure, definitely, according to the ministry, they say they just want to stabilize the energy sector, the electricity. A time is coming that even if it rains cat and dog, storms, and the light will still be on.
Okay, so
you understand?
One of our colleagues has just informed me that there is a timetable, and also I don't know why we forgot to mention that Clock TV does give the updates on our social media. So we have a timetable for today. Okay. That is the 30th of April. So let me just take us through this briefly. So power outage due to the fire outbreak at Great Coast Akosombo substation. So yes, to take off that. Now, under listed areas, that is from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. on the 30th of April. Affected areas are here. Oh my God. I'm seeing. We have Adenta, Lankwantana, Akachiabo power line, Aimensa, Oyarifa, Greater Estates, Teshi, Brekuso, Ajimanti, Comet Estates, Japan Embassy. I really wish we could put this up for you to see also, but let me just keep going. We have Japan Embassy, Korea Embassy, so even the embassies are affected. This is serious. Trinity Seminary, Mempasem, UGBS, Ashalibuche, Little Roses, parts of Nanakrom, Okpoigono, Ajoman, GIS, Mamobi, Accra Girls, Kotobabi, Ashie, Regimano Estate, Spintex Road, Musuku, Balloon Gate, Pediase, Ketase, Asherase, Ebri, Eyim, Ashongman, Oponglo, CSIR, Christian Village, Kisiman, Westland, Hachu, Hydro Foam Estates, Frimpoma Estates, Okpoigono again, AIS, parts of Airport Residential Area, Roman Ridge, Chumesiwa, Jen Ayo, Ogbojo, Laboni, Maijon, Bogatown, Abokobi, Teman, Ablaje, Akpoman, Top Herbal, Bosche, Wisconsin, Achimota, Pantine, Shalom Estates, Kotam Estate, Osu, Cantonments, Ashie, Fulani, and Chado. So these are the places. That is for the Accra East region. Then we have, so there are three. These are all for the Accra East region, but there are also other places. So Amahia, Damfa, Otinibi, parts of Malejo, Amanfrom, Chado, New England, Madina Estates, Legon Hills, Adenta Estates, New Legon, Commandos, Forest Hotel, Sasabi, Valley View, parts of Oponglo, Oyibi, Apollonia, Pantine Hospital, parts of Abokobi, Osu Oxford Street, parts of East Legon, Baaleshi, Madina, Pentecost Hospital, Kwabenya, Legon, East Cantonments, Japan Motors, Lakeside, Community 1 and 8, parts of Airport Residential Area, Taifa, parts of Kukumlimli, Malamata, parts of Accra Newtown, Makola Pig Farm. Okay, yes, we have it displayed, so now I can save most of my breath. But
the issue is that with then it means that the whole of Accra. But you see, the minister announcing that the fourth one has been restored, then it means that right now we have about 680 to 700 megawatts. And then still this number of power up. But so my issue right now is fine. The timetable is out, but the accessibility, how do we access? Where do we find this?
Oh, so I think this is coming from their website.
Their website.
Yes. And then I think they also put these bits of information up on their app. They have a more convenient way for us to buy electricity without having to go. So I think usually when you check their announcements pages and things like that, you'd see. So we have, yes. So the first one I read through was 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. Then the second one was from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so I'm sure by the time I get home, I'll have lights. And then the third one is from, so there are three actually. The third one is from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. So there are different portions of Accra that will be affected at these specific times. So please, move to our social media and, check and take note. And then if you need to be somewhere for a while before you get home to, you take advantage of that. And then those of you who may be losing power at 6 p.m., you might as well also charge your gadgets. Speaking of that, you mentioned that businesses must go on, and this issue in this time frame has also brought up some business for some people as they are. This one is almost as though I'm doing business or markets for them, but they're marketing this sort of lamp that is also a fan and a power bank all together, and. Honestly, I think maybe we need some, I'm just trying to say that this is also another business avenue for people, because during the Dumso era, people had to start, a lot of people invested in getting generators to power their homes, and some people even inverters and all of that. And now this is what we are getting. This is more lower budget for the people who may not be able to afford such. So this is just to say, in order to, keep you comfortable for a few hours, you may want to look into purchasing one of these for yourselves. You power your gadgets and then, fan yourself throughout the night.
But you also know that there's a section of people who are not actually feeling this. That's those who have the solar power. These days the sun, it scorches a lot. And so if you have it, and it generates power from the sun. And so the rate at which it scorches these days, it means that if you have it, you can have it throughout the night, and then when you leave the comfort of your home to your work, it is still there by the time you get home. And so it has. I think that it has come to reduce the usage or the dependence on the electricity that we already have. And
but it's still not enough. And Beverly just drew my attention to the hospitals as well. So I'm starting to think that what if, in addition to resourcing or funding the hospitals, they can look into solar powered, facilities too. So they can also, because there came a time where surgeries were conducted with torchlights in this country. And that is probably still going on in the remote areas. And even in Accra, considering this issue, this power outage issue. So maybe hospitals can be, resourced with solar panels, 1 or 2 solar power guys who can, do the maintenance and necessary checks for them, so that at least lives are still safeguarded.
Exactly. I mean, when you go to most of the hospitals, they've deployed what you're talking about, and that's what they've been doing. And then most hospitals do have, standby generators. So it depends on the hospitals. And so the hospitals that are vulnerable right now are most of government hospitals. But then when you go to the private hospitals that are well equipped, they have these solar facilities, they have standby generators that once the light goes off, it comes on. And so it means that the hospitals that are lacking some of these facilities are the government-owned hospitals. And so what should be done? What should be done is that they have to, equip these hospitals with these necessary tools. And it's all about money. And so this is where we call on private institutions and whatever. And then I don't know if there's time that we talk about.
We have a few minutes more.
Yes. the $109 million, that Ghana rejected as from US aid. Some of these things come to help. But then it was rejected for a good reason. It is not Ghana, Zambia, Mozambique has also actually rejected it.
So if you are saying it's for a good reason, please enlighten us so we see whether we agree with you.
So the deal is America First Global Health Strategy. Listen to the name. America First Global Health Strategy. And now it is the proposed 5-year package. And this was part of Trump's administration's revamped foreign aid framework, following the dismantling of the U.S. aid earlier in 2026. And the funding target is $109 million, earmarked for critical programs like fighting HIV/AIDS, malaria, tuberculosis, and polio. And you can't get something free from Trump without.
So this carrot, what is the stake?
Exactly. And so this negotiation began in November 2025. And so let me just get the real. This is what they are demanding. So it is reported that the deal would have required Ghana to hand over Ghanaians' health data for 25 years, even though the aid would have lasted for only 5 years. They are requesting for data health. I mean, that is breach of privacy and all of that, data protection. And then they say during that 25-year period, Ghana would not have been able to question how the data was being used.
Oh, no,
you understand?
That's unfair.
And it also reported that part of the deal would have prevented Ghana FDA from scrutinizing certain medicinal products from the U.S. being registered in the U.S. to the Ghana to U.S. So FDA would not have had to conduct further checks before it entered the Ghanaian market. And beyond all this, Ghanaian officials were reportedly given just 1 week to sign the MOU. And this MOU we are talking about was prepared unilaterally, that's just from the US, without consulting Ghanaians. Okay. And so look at what they are taking in return, and the fact that they were pressuring Ghanaians. How can we give out our data, including the paternity, everything? I don't want to use the medical terms. So everything. I mean, it's just for 5 years, but for 25 years.
Having free access
to,
without any, regulation. Nothing. This is where, when we hear a lot of our world leaders talking about neocolonialism, or even, post-independence, we are still suffering from some form of colonialism. And this is a clear example. Can Ghana say the same thing to US? No. And taking aside the economic power imbalance and all of that. These are things that the US is known for, these kinds of, I don't want to use the term bullying, but you realize that they will corner you into a certain, let me just use the West, let me not limit it to the US, where because you know that you need that money, you may be willing to sacrifice certain important aspects of your sovereignty to this nation. Because look at what you're saying. 5 into 25. And it's not, if it is 25, at least it makes sense that, okay, for 25 years of being provided Ghanaians data, at least you're paying for it in the $109 million. But and we cannot also even regulate the drugs. We cannot regulate the information, how you are using it, what you are using it for. We cannot probe into that.
You don't have a say.
No. And yet we say we are sovereign states. One cannot, sort of kowtow to the other, or one cannot overpower the other. We are supposed to be two standing states. That's
on paper, but in reality,
yes, this is the reality.
And so some reports also indicate that, irrespective, in addition of all of that, we're supposed to make a contribution of something like $70 million or something within that 5 year. And so, like you rightly said, they just look at our weakness And at that time, they just look at our weakness and try to, bring in something to get a huge aid from us. When this US aid was cancelled, it became a problem that, the funding and a whole lot. Look at what we are experiencing currently with so many hospitals that do not have these, equipment, these medicines and all that. But during that time, that, actually was providing for all of these things. So like I stated, Zambia also rejected a deal exceeding $1 billion. Zimbabwe also declined $367 million.
So ours was the lowest.
Yes, and Kenya also declined $2.5 billion. You understand? And so it's something. And so it means that Africans...
At least we are waking up a little. It's not just about the money.
Yes. In as much as this is going to cost us a whole lot, I think it's a good thing our leadership took, and it's the best.
I was going to say certain things, but it may be geared towards conspiracy theories. But that being said, all too soon our time for the online and print review segments is over. And up next is the sports segment, and they're going to be giving us highlights on what's happening in the world of sports. Do stay tuned.
I wanted to ask
Lovely viewers, good morning and welcome to the sports update segment on your favorite morning show, the Koko Digest Morning Show on Clock TV. Yes, you know, I am your host for today. My name is Benedict Nketia Kwatin, and you know, here we bring you nothing but the best in the world of sports. We are covering all the action, the nitty-gritties, the entertaining parts of football, the part where we don't see on our screens. We are going right deep, we go deep in and deep out, and we are bringing you all the best, covering both action, local and international. Today, you know, what has been trending so far is our Champions League games that's been going on, that's been being played over the week. So I will just hold on with the Champions League football and I'll just go on with my stories for today. So our first story for today is our local story, and it's about Ghana. And then in preparation for the World Cup, but this time around it's about the youngsters. So Ghana to host the 2027 Under-20 AFCON without spending a penny, Kofi Adams reveals. So this is the news that is trending so far in Ghana sports, Ghana football, where Kofi Adams, that is the Minister for Sports and Recreation, he has confirmed that Ghana will host the 2027 AFCON Under-20 Cup of Nations, and he has also revealed that the country did not spend any penny, did not spend a dime in securing this bid. It's quite interesting to know that you go and stand for a bid to host a competition, especially of this magnitude, the AFCON Under-20, and you won this bid without spending a penny or a dime for this. And he also added that this feat was achieved through the influence of the sitting president, that is John Dramani Mahama, and his strong ties with other nations, and of course the country's strong reputation in African football. So Ghana has hosted this competition before. That was in 1999, where the Under-20 side we hosted and we won. The Black Satellite, we won the competition in 1999, so it was a host and win kind of tournament. And then again, we are hosting again in 2027, which coincides with Ghana's 70th anniversary. So hopefully we are able to win. This also is helping in the preparation towards the celebration, the 6th March 2027 celebration to celebrate Ghana's 70th anniversary. So yes, this is actually good news for Ghana. This is good news for the federation, good news for the country, and of course, good news for everyone out there. This is a time for us to also come together and create another memorable competition for AFCON, for Africans around the world. Yes, and the next story for today is has to do with the World Cup. Then, like I said earlier, so Ghana has been guaranteed at least $12.5 million for FIFA World Cup 2026. So our competition, competing in this World Cup, the 2026 World Cup, Ghana has been guaranteed at least $12.5 million for the World Cup, for competing in the World Cup. So when you compete in the World Cup, there is an amount of money you earn as a country. Before, it is increased. That is when you are able to move ahead of the table. You are able to move to other levels of the competition to ultimately win the ultimate prize, that is the trophy itself, the World Cup itself. So yes, the total pool prize has risen from $871 million after a 15% increase driven by strong commercial performance. So that means that the money is nearly up to $900 million, which will be distributed to 48 teams. So when you do the math, you can see that every country is going to be fed well. We are going to enjoy it if you are able to perform better in this year's World Cup competition. So yes, the decision was reached during a FIFA Council meeting that was held in Vancouver on April 28th. That's like 2 days ago, just weeks after before the tournament kicks off. Yeah, so before the tournament kicks off, they had this meeting to discuss what needs to be done and the financial part of this competition and all that. So Ghana, for qualifying in this competition, the country has been guaranteed $12.5 million, and so Black Stars will receive $2.5 million in preparation as a preparation funding. So it will help us in the preparation, bringing the players to the tournament. The host nation USA. If we are playing, I think most of our games is in the US. So we'll be staying in the US. Some countries are also playing in Canada, some are playing in Mexico, so it will be spread across and all that. And then $1.5 million, which is alongside a $10 million qualification fee. So yes, this is how the money has been spread. $12.5 million, that is the total. Ghana will receive $2.5 million as preparation funding. And then $1.5 million, that is alongside a $10 million as qualification fee. So in addition, FIFA will also provide $60 million to cover travel, logistics, ticketing, expenses for teams, delegation. So aside the $12.5 million that will be given to, each country that's participating, that's qualified for the World Cup, the $60 million will also be spread across all the countries to help them cover travel, logistics, and ticketing expenses for the team's delegation. So the training team, the management, the staff, the fans, the important part of the team will also be sent across. Everything will be covered for by FIFA. So this is actually a good initiative. We hope that the money will not be wasted because, we've had, records of this. We know countries where, I remember quite Mesut Ozil. He left his money that was paid to him. That was, I think, when 2016, he left his money. I'm getting the dates wrong, but then I remember Mesut Ozil left his money to the country Brazil for, an orphanage to use it to help themselves. So the money can be used in a lot of ways, but as a country, we can also use the money we are going to make from this World Cup to also develop our sports ministry. The sports sector. Let's not just focus on football. It's actually for the country because of football, but we can push the money into other sectors when it comes to sports and recreation. We have other fields that needs to be improved. So let us use this money well. It's also helping the country also prepare adequately so that we don't have excuses like, some players couldn't come. We have issues here, hotel issues and all that. So yes, this is our story, my stories for today. Let me move on to the entertaining parts of sports this week. That is the UEFA Champions League. The UEFA Champions League that has been being played over the week. And on Tuesday, we had some game that was played. And then yesterday, too, another part of the game was played. Now, let me start with Tuesday game. The Tuesday game was between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. So PSG hosted Bayern Munich in Paris over on Tuesday. And then, it was yesterday. Tuesday's game was, a game of attackers. You show me what you have, I show you what I've got. So it was a game of back-to-back goals. At a total of 9 goals that was scored at the end of the 90 minutes that was played. PSG winning by 5-4. And then goals were scored by, we have Kvaratskhelia. Harry Kane scoring a penalty first, and then Kvaratskhelia, equalizing, and then PSG going ahead to score a goal, and then Olise, the very own Olise, equalizing to make it 2-2, and then again Ousmane Dembele coming to score a penalty in the 9 minutes of the first half to take the lead against Bayern Munich. They came back from the break, and then PSG was on another level. They scored another goal by Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele also scored again, making it 5-2. But then Bayern Munich we know would not sit back. They decided to attack, and also they equalized, ending the game by 5-4 on the first leg of the competition. They'll be going back to PSG. Will be going back to Bayern Munich home to go and play a return leg. So they are going with a win. This is the first leg. The second leg will be played next week, God willing. And then yesterday was also the game of the defenses. You show me what you can do with your defense, your men's team, your defending team. That was Atletico against Arsenal, the Gunners. Yes, so yesterday Atletico hosted Arsenal in their home, and then yes, the game was. This semi-finals has been one of the interesting semi-finals we've witnessed. We had the time for attackers and we had the time for the defending teams. So yesterday was actually interesting. In as much as we underestimated what was going to happen yesterday, we thought it wasn't really going to be that fun, but it was actually thrilling to watch the game, where we see the game of some defending, you defend and then you attack, then you close off. You defend, attack, close off. It was fun. It was interesting. So at the end of the game, Atletico Madrid drew against Arsenal 1-1. Arsenal scored a goal first. Gyökeres scored a penalty, and then after the first half, Julio Alvarez also equalized with also a penalty. So yesterday was a game of defense. Everything showed that the game was just full of defending. So yes, Alvarez scored a very brilliant penalty. I mean, Gyökeres played a shot, like a trailing penalty to score the goal, and then Alvarez returned the favor. So yesterday was just back to back to back. I mean, Tuesday and then Wednesday, back to back to back action. It was interesting. Hopefully we'll see a replica of what we've witnessed this week, God willing, next week when they all return to play again. So yes, this is it for the sports update segment. It's been an interesting time with you viewers. We are hoping that next week you stick and stay with us. We'll bring you updates on the UEFA Champions League, whatever that goes on, whoever is going to qualify for the finals. From this stage, whoever passes through is heading straight to the finals. Is it going to be Bayern Munich or PSG and Arsenal or Atletico Madrid? Stay tuned. God willing, next week, and we'll bring you details of that. My name is Benedict Nketia Kwatin. I've been your host for the sports update segment. Next is the entertainment section. That's the lifestyle section with Yaira.
Our very own SAEMK, I'm sure that the song that was playing just before we came back gave you a fair idea. So the single ladies, if you are looking for a fine boy musician, tune in, call a friend, text your friend, come and ask if he's single so that I'll ask him for you, then we do the line, you know. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm also good. So quickly into the conversation.
Yeah.
Who is SAEMK?
SAMK is an artist, songwriter. Yeah.
Right. So, with the songwriting, how long have you been doing this?
Been doing this for professionally, I would say 14 years.
14 years.
Yes.
But you don't look that old. So how have you been doing music for 14 years?
The thing is, I would say I started professional recording at 11.
Okay.
But I started writing since I was 7 years old.
Right. You started writing music at the age of 7?
Yes.
Wow. How was that like?
Yeah, so the thing is, I grew up in a household that loved music. My mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters.
Yeah.
You know, I was just everyone loved music. You see,
So were you the typical church into industry kind of kid?
Okay, so everyone has that story of being in the church choir and stuff. But for me, it started at home.
You started at home, okay.
Because I was raised with music. So it all started at the age of 3.
3, wow.
Yes. My mom and dad, they play country music. So it's I would say my house was divided to different genres. My father and my mother, they love country music. One of my sister loved R&B. Then a brother of mine loved hip hop. Another one of mine loved reggae. So it was just different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which of these genres did you end up, getting more attuned to?
Okay, so for me, I'm more of what's the word? I would say experimental.
Experimental. So you touch on everything.
I infuse everything. So
okay, that's nice. So yes, viewers, SAEMK is a Nigerian Afrobeats, Afropop music artist that is based here in Ghana, and his works include songs like Serious Matter, Roll One, and 99 Spirits.
Yeah.
Now, SA draws inspirations from his native culture with a blend of Ghanaian, infusing his tracks with powerful storytelling and infectious beats. So SA is the same popular 30-year-old swag kid in the showbiz.
Can I cut you short?
Okay.
I kind of made a mistake on my EPK, so it's 11.
You were rather 11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, he's the same popular kid, that was 11 years old, known as Swag Kid back in the day. Whether performing live or recording in the studio, his passion for music shines through and making him a standout artist in the Afrobeat soul genre. And I'm sure we got a bit of, the vibe in the song that was played. So yes, let's come to Swag Kid.
Yeah.
You were known as Swag Kid back in the day. What was that like? How was the experience getting into the industry that early at 11?
Yeah, so it was a wonderful experience, as a kid, because I was I loved music from a very tender age,
Right.
So me doing it and going viral, I never expected myself to go viral at that time. Because I was more of a rapper back in the day.
Okay.
Although I was singing, but I won't lie, I hated singing then. But I could do it. But I was rapping more. So, I have a video on YouTube, which is more of 1.4 million views.
Wow.
Yeah, and at the time, my brother took me to a studio. They just made a 5-minute freestyle, and it went viral. And one of the persons who shared it at the time, I don't know if he's going to remember, but... It was Sarkodie.
Oh, okay.
So it had an impact on that video actually, because it really drew lots of people to it. So it went viral at that time, and which gave me opportunities to perform in big platforms like Vodafone concert, Ghana Meet Nigeria, and it opened doors for me meeting different celebs. So,
All right. So we can see images of you with various celebrities at such a young age.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the experiences with some of them? Like Sarkodie, we can see at the moment. We've seen, I think I saw Don Jazzy, that's the video also.
Yeah.
How was it that young meeting these stars?
Okay, so it was surreal because it was like an unreal moment because these were people like as a kid I envisioned myself saying them like one day I would want to meet Wizkid, I want to meet Davido and most of these people. So when this happened, like it kind of like I wouldn't say it kind of like it opened the doors for me, but as a kid it felt unreal. So it felt like I was living in a dream, because, when I get home, I'm like, wait, have I met with this person? Like, I really sat in the same room with this person, like having a conversation with this person. So, yeah.
So how were their personalities like, people like Wizkid? Were they very welcoming? Were they?
Oh, yeah. They were, because even me, I won't lie. Everyone had a perception that when you meet these people, they're going to be like some kind of way to you, but they were like free,
very free. Oh, that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So as moving from Swag Kid to SA now, what has changed? What has stayed the same?
A lot of things have changed, but I would say what like hasn't changed is the drive. Like for me to like keep going. So.
All right. So. Now, where do some of your best ideas come? Some people say their best ideas come from the bathroom when they are, taking a shower. Where do some of your best ideas come from?
I draw inspiration from everything. Supposing we're to be like at the studio, just having a conversation with you will be an inspiration.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, does that not cause you sometimes to be overwhelmed because like everything tends to inspire you? So how are you able to like sift through what to pick out?
Well, the thing is, I just love music so much that I feel like I could fix every situation into it, The craziest thing is I can be angry, but that anger serves as a source of inspiration to me, and I just put it into music. So.
All right. So have you dealt with things like creative block where there are times where everything is just hitting you at once, all the inspiration is coming at once and you cannot pick anything?
It does happen. It does happen, but I found a way to like navigate through negativity, because it gets to a point whereby you feel like, oh, I'm at this mood, I'm not happy, so I don't feel like I can create. But then, to me, it's like it's a door for me to create right now. Like what tends to be like a creative block for me, like I'm like I'm sad, I don't think I can create something right now, but it helps me right now. So
So since you say you found a way to navigate it, can you take us through how you navigate that? So maybe a few musicians here and there aspiring to also be like you and bigger.
So that would draw me to one of my songs, 99 Spirits and Serious Matter. So with the 99 Spirits, I mean, I'm human. It's just me like being depressed and going through like a very crazy phase of my life. So that's me being in a moment whereby, I would say like my negative moment. So, with that, instead of me getting angry or like just lashing out on someone with my anger, I just like keep quiet and just be like, okay, you know what? I'm on my phone, and immediately, I just
start letting it out.
And maybe if I hear an instrumental, I just listen to it, and I just don't say anything. I'm just on my phone, and coming up with words and something like that. So.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So basically, you put your emotions into words. Then, if an instrument is around, you might just develop a beat. Okay, I think we can learn something from that. So, that being said, also, with the instruments, do you have any instruments you also play?
I don't have an instrument I play, but then I'm looking forward to like playing the guitar.
The guitar, it will match your style actually. So, what does a day in Essay's life look like when you wake up in the morning till you retire to bed? Take us through your day.
Okay. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, I'm a spiritual person. God. I pray, you know. From there, okay, I would say I'm smaller right now. I used to work out, so yeah. And from there, you know, just look at the mirror. Say some words of affirmation, like you're the best, you're this, you're that, you know. And from there, head to the studio, create some music, and I would say my routine is not there's nothing really special about it though. It's just like working out, music, you know. I think that is it.
All right. So how are you able to balance, you know, your studio time with rehearsals and media and even your personal life?
Okay, so okay, let me take it back to when I was like viral, you know. Like as a kid, it was really hard to like balance, let's say, school and music.
Yeah.
Because you know, I would be in class and my people would come for me like, yo, you have a program somewhere, so you have to be at this place at this time. So, you know, it was really challenging for me because at some point my grades were like dropping in school. I wouldn't lie. I was dropping in school because I have to be there, and as a young kid I would come back home very late.
And tired.
Yeah, you get me. So I would try to like read, but it wasn't like working out for me. But then, you know, but at some point I tried though. Yeah.
So you were able to get through school without, you know, really terrible grades?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with then coming to even being a kid at that time, how was it like managing the popularity or the fame with your mates in school and even the teachers?
Okay, so it wasn't easy because at some point it was challenging with the teachers because they're like, you know, most of them, oh, you chose music over your books and stuff. And, you know, me trying to explain to them, it wasn't really making sense to them at that time, you know. But to me, I understood myself more.
Yeah.
Because I tried explaining to them, but still, they didn't want to like comprehend what was happening at that time, you know.
So what about your mates though? Was there any sort of pressure, like the girls rushing to you or the boys, you know, starting to bully you or even making you their sort of overlord in the groups?
Okay, so the thing is, every time they would want me to like, you know, do freestyles and stuff. And it got to a point it was too much for me, you know. And when I decline and be like, I'm not in the mood to do it, you know, it gets
some backlash,
yeah.
So coming to the personal life, how are you able to manage, you know, music with your family, you know, other aspects of your personal life as well?
Okay, I try as much as possible to do it. So the thing is, maybe if I have somewhere to be during like the day, I try as much as possible to call my mom, you know, early in the morning. Be like, Mom, hope you're good and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if I don't get through to my mom, I just leave like a voice note. You know, like, Mom,
Stay in touch with your mom. So ladies, this man seems attached to his mom, so let's keep that in mind. Yeah, shout outs to the mommy's boys out here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the ladies are watching and they want to know, is there vacancy for them? Is there vacancy?
For sure.
For sure. Okay. So ladies, contact me. Let me do the link for you. So now coming to how you manage your time, what keeps you grounded? What are some of the habits that you have, you know, stepped on your own toes to keep yourself in line?
Like motivated.
Yeah, and even keeping you grounded as well.
Okay. It's just like I said, the thing that works for me is just the words of like affirmation. You know, I soliloquize. I talk to myself.
Yeah.
I think out loud, like, you know. I make sure that if I'm breaking, I just tend to like encourage myself. Because okay, someone might encourage you, but I feel like the main person that's to do it more for you is yourself.
Yeah, you can't.
You get me? So
okay.
yeah.
So when, let's say you've had like one viral moment and you're trying to get to more viral moments and it doesn't seem to be working, how then do you keep yourself moving?
Okay.
Because I think from there, the affirmations may not always hold. So what are some of the things you do to keep yourself like motivated that it will come?
Okay, so the thing is, when you know, it happened for me at a very young age, you know. So at some point there was some sort of like downward moment. So it was hard for me, but then, like I said, it worked for me. Still, I had to motivate myself, you know. My mom was there too. Like, she was far, but you know, she tried as much as possible to like communicate. Because, you know, I left home really early. I left when I was 11, so you know. So I was like, oh no, I don't think this is for me. I need to end. I need to stop this right now, you know. But then there was just this inner voice in my head telling me like, no, you know, you have to keep on going. So
okay. So with the fact that you've changed from Swag Kid to SA, what inspired that, and what have been the effects so far?
Okay, so the thing is, you know, I left my parents, like I said, a very long time. I left them for like the first 13, 12 years of my life, you know. So me, like, kind of like rebonding with them, I went back home in 2019. So I was about to come back to Ghana in like 2020, but then COVID came. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I feel this is a perfect time to just stay back. Because, I mean, I left my parents. I have to like bond with my parents again. So I stayed a whole year with my parents, right? So SA, how you doing and stuff like that. So I was like, I think this Swaki era is over. You know, right now, like I'm hearing my name often. You know, that Swaki name is out right now. So I'm like, you know what? I think I should just be myself. It's not that I wasn't myself like during the Swaki era, but I feel like it's time to let that Swaki go. You know.
So you grew into SA. Basically.
Yes, which is my real name.
Yeah.
So with the EMK is my surname, so I had to like abbreviate it. So like, let me just go with what's real, and which is me. So SA.
So what were the implications of rebranding into SA?
Okay, so the thing is, I would go to certain places I've been before, and you know, and people that knew me as Swag, you know, like SA, why? You know, they would ask questions, and you know, who is SA? Who is SA? You know, so the challenging part is you like explaining yourself to them, like, oh, SA used to be this, SA used to be that, but it got to a point I don't feel like I need to explain myself. Like, you will get to know as time goes on.
So you moved from Nigeria to Ghana when you were really young.
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little. I mean, we've always had the Ghana-Nigeria fight, so we're going to start a new one now.
Yeah.
Comparatively, what's life like in Nigeria and in Ghana?
Okay. It was a bit challenging at first, you know, moving here because, you Nigerians, like there were a moment whereby, you know, and I would want to like explain myself, like, not all Nigerians are like this, not all Nigerians are like that, you know. So it was challenging for me, but then I got to adapt because, you know, I grew here, you know. So
let me ask the most controversial question.
Okay.
Ghana jollof, Nigeria jollof. Okay,
so you know what? I'll put it this way. Right? I'll put it this way. You see, Ghanaian jollof is amazing, right? But then, you know, I came here when I was a kid, but I would say my mom.
Your mom's jollof is better.
I'm telling you. Honestly.
Okay. Yeah, that's a way to save yourself. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But how is life, you know, in the industry here in Ghana compared to in the industry in Nigeria?
Okay. That's a good question. I would say there's just a little difference.
What's that difference?
The difference is, you know, being a foreigner, it will be kind of like challenging. But then, you know, like I said, when you grow. So one thing I would say my life has my own life inspires me. It's like growing out of your comfort zone, you know? Like, okay, I'm in a different industry. How would they accept me? But then, you know, I grew and I got acceptance for, you know, a few people. So, you know.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how was it like then moving back to Nigeria and trying to integrate into the music industry there?
Okay, so going back is more of like a reintroduction because, you know, I grew here. So like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, you know. So yeah, it was easy because, you know, me letting them know I'm Nigerian and this is this is that. So yeah.
So what are the key things, maybe key words you would describe the Ghanaian music industry with, and then the Nigerian music industry too?
A keyword. Okay, with the Ghanaian music industry, I would say I don't think there's a difference because in every industry there's a challenge, you know. Because me being a Nigerian, it's not also going to be easy for me because Nigeria, mind you, we have the numbers one, and apart from that, there are lots of artists every day, you know. So if I'm there, it's also going to be challenging for me as it is right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not much difference.
Yes.
But you know, we tend to hear stuff like the Nigerian artists tend to support each other more than the Ghanaian ones do for each other. Have you experienced anything like that?
Okay. With that, the Nigerian industry, they tend to like, you know, be more supportive. You know, like, you know, I believe if I should support this person, I should support that person. It's going to like raise the bar high, you know. With here, I guess it's the same, but then I would say just a few
minor differences.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's to move away from that before we get into controversial topics there.
Yeah.
So outside of music,
yeah,
who are you? What do you like to do? If we don't find you in the studio, where are we likely to find you? And don't say at home.
I don't know. I'll say my life is just surrounded about like around music. Yeah.
So do you have any other things you like to do outside of the music?
Play video games.
Video games.
Movies. Okay, I watch like action movies and stuff, but then it all comes back to the main thing.
Comes back to music. Okay. So let's talk about now your discography.
Yeah.
How many songs do you have now at the moment? You know, from Swag Kid all the way to Essay. Or the Uncountable.
Yes. That's right.
Well, which ones are your favorite? Let's talk about those.
My favorite is Now There Yet.
It's not out yet. Okay. Yes. Your most popular, like the ones that have gone viral, that have the most views and things.
Okay, so at the moment I would say 99 Spirits, Row 1, and Serious Matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is 99 Spirits about? Okay. 99 Spirits, are you calling on some gods?
Okay, the thing is I would say I found myself in different situations. Right? So I tend to like name those situations like spirits. And with the situations that like they're uncountable situations. So I just had to look for a number for it.
Okay, that fits.
Yeah.
So I remember earlier you mentioned that the song was more about how you were feeling at a certain time.
Yeah.
That. Was that the only inspiration or you had other underlying inspirations that added?
It's like I said, I'm human, you know. It's just like depression and, you know, just so many things, life challenge. So I just had to like put it in one place.
All right. So what about Row 1? What inspired the song?
Okay, Row 1, yeah. Row 1, I'm not going to mention the name of the artist. I initially wrote it for an artist.
Okay.
An A-list artist. But then they actually loved it, the management loved it, and the artist himself loved it. But at some point there was a change of mind. Because Rowan is talking about heartbreak and stuff, which I've not experienced. So.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. So this is fresh meat. Show him Ghanaian pepper. Yes.
So, I mean, I tap into other people's stories too. So it's like I need a song talking about heartbreak and stuff. So, I had to use that.
Right. Yeah. So since you've not experienced heartbreak before, were you able to relate to the song very well?
I would say no, I won't lie. No. Because it's the person feeling it. So,
But you could still, say something on behalf of
Yeah.
someone.
Okay. No, I need it to be like touching, I need it to be like this because she did this, she did that. So I was like, okay. So I had to fix myself in that position, even if I've not felt that yet. So, and I'm not looking forward to feel that. So.
Well, we'll see about that. We hope so.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what about Serious Matter? That sounds like a more serious song.
Yeah, it was serious. So, I was at the studio, right? And the beat was playing at. To be very honest, I didn't have. That's when, I would say I wanted to experience a writer's block there, but I was trying to look for a topic to blend on the beat because I was just freestyling, and nothing was just working at the moment for me. Till I got this call from home, there was a problem. Which was involving a life, my brother's life.
Oh.
So there was a part in the song, I mentioned my brother's name, Frank. So that negative moment was an inspiration. So after hanging up the caller, boom.
Together. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So all too soon, our time is almost up, and I would like to ask you that where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What are some of the goals you set for yourself?
Okay, so I see myself, I see my music making a very great impact. And seeing myself as a source of inspiration to up and coming artists. I mean, my music would be a reason why someone doesn't give up in life. A reason that someone keeps on going even when it feels hard. So, yeah.
All right. So, wrapping up, you will be performing one song for us, no?
No problem.
Right. I think I may have missed this question, but are there any other musicians you've worked with?
I wouldn't want to. I've done songwriting, songwriting for A-list artists in the Ghanaian music industry and the Nigerian music industry, but then it's confidential.
Oh, okay. What about features? Are you on any
features? It's also confidential.
Oh, confidential. So we'll see that.
Be in anticipation of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that being said, we got up close and personal with SAEMK, and he's a very fine young man. Ladies, I noticed we got a few calls on the WhatsApp number, but it is strictly for WhatsApp. So please do send your messages there. If you want to be linked, send a message, and then I'll get in touch for you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you too.
I'm leaving the stage for you to take us away, blow us away with your song. I think you want to perform 99 Spirits.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, let's enjoy 99 Spirits by SAEMK.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah.
You can find it on Spotify.
You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on all music platforms.
Okay, all music platforms. You can also get the video on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, search for SAEMK, follow him, subscribe to his pages, and get acquainted with his music. Share his music to your friends as well. This brings us to the end of the lifestyle segment. Let's take our birthdays for today and then get into the business segment.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today what.
Right, so the first birthday is to Pamela. Happy birthday, Pamela. Wishing you endless blessings and unstoppable success in everything you set your mind to do. May the endorsements and brand deals keep rolling in. You deserve it all. And this is from Marcelo. Now, this is to Obapa Alice. This one says, happy birthday to Obapa Alice. Wishing you blessings galore, continued success in all your endeavors. Keep shining. And this is from James. Then the next one is to Alaba. Happy birthday to Alaba. Wishing you a year packed with grace, more wins, and that next big contract. This is from the J-Dad Get Fit family. And then we have the last one. This is saying a happy glorious birthday, genius. We love and cherish you as our dear brother. We uphold you as a friend and always support you as an individual with a mission. May God see you fruitfully through all these aspects of you and make your secret prayers manifest before all men. We always love and celebrate you, brother, in this family of extraordinary gentlemen. And this is from HB Group. Thank you so much for sending in your birthday wishes. We hope to get more from you as the day and the weeks progress. Up next is the business segment.
Hello, good morning to you and welcome. This is the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. We're also live on GoTV channel 184, and so you can be part of this conversation by sending us a message and we'll gladly read them aloud. I am your host, Peter Ensia. Today we are talking about something most of us can't relate to, and that is when, expenses show up before payday. For many salaried workers, whether in the public or private sector, life doesn't always wait for payday. Unexpected expenses like medical bills, school fees, or urgent home needs can arise at any moment, often creating pressure on already planned budgets. In the past, people had to rely on friends, family, or go through lengthy and sometimes stressful processes just to access short-term funds. But today, banking is evolving to meet these real-time challenges. GCB Bank has introduced a fully digital solution designed to help customers manage these everyday financial pressures, offering quick access to funds they have already worked for without paperwork or long waiting times. It is called the Digital Salary Advance. And this morning, we will explore how it works, who qualifies, and why it's becoming an essential financial tool for many Ghanaians. And so I'm very excited to announce that I am being joined by two representatives from GCB Ghana. I have with me Madam Margaret Obimpe, Head of Personal Banking at GCB, and also have Madam Phyllis Bintu Opata, Digital Solutions Manager, Retail Banking. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Peter.
It's a
Thank you for
morning.
having us.
It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
So, without much ado, I just want us to go straight into the conversation. So, I would like to start with you, Madam Margaret. When we say GCB digital, salary, what is it about? What is it all about?
Thank you very much, Peter, for that question. And good morning to all your viewers. We're grateful that we've been given the opportunity this morning to be here. GCB Salary Advance is a fully digital salary solution, credit solution for our salaried workers. I mean, being the number one bank, commercial bank in Ghana, your bank for life, and having the biggest salary portfolio of over 600,000 salaried customers, we thought it's very, very important that we put a solution out there that fixes the gap from your intro, to ensure that our customers are able to meet those exigencies that are unplanned. There are medical emergencies, funeral emergencies that are never unplanned. So this solution is an end-to-end, fully digital solution to enable our salary workers to be able to have funds available when those exigencies happen.
Interesting. So it means that there is no human interruption. It is fully automated.
Not at all. Fully automated. No human interaction. All you need to do is to download your GCB app.
Okay.
And that's it.
Interesting. Let me come to you, Madam Bintu. One may ask, why these products at this time? What actually inspired GCB Bank?
Thank you, Peter, for the question. So I want to use this opportunity to greet your cherished viewers. We were here in July when we were launching the GCB Salary Advance. And our customers listened to us, and it's marvelous.
Interesting.
Yes. So we introduced the GCB mobile app last year, July, because at the time, our mobile app was just about 2 years. And then we realized that most of our customers have to travel long distances to come to the branches. I encountered a customer who said she spends 120 cedis on transport just to access salary advance at Koforidua branch. So with all these customers, we said, why not? Why don't we put convenience in the hands of our customers? So we implemented this product to make it simple, accessible, and convenient for our customers.
So it means that you can access it at the comfort of your home.
Yes, on
the app.
On the app. Everything happens on the app. You just tap, you apply, you receive instantly.
let me come to you, Madam Margaret. How different is this from a regular personal loans? How different is this?
Yeah, so this is very, very different. It's curated for short-term emergencies.
Okay.
So it runs for 30 days.
Okay.
Unlike the traditional personal loans that can run up to 86 months, this is just for a short period. And as we did indicate earlier, it's fast, it's instant, it's at the convenience of your home. So you sit in your home, you don't need to do any paperwork. You download the GCB app, you go through the process of applying, and immediately it is approved. It's disbursed instantly into your account. You don't have to visit any branch to finalize the process. You don't need to sign any document to be able to get it. So that is the difference. And because it's for 30 days, immediately your salary comes in, it pays it off, and then you qualify to take it again. You can also pay it early, and when you pay it early, you are eligible to apply again. So that's a huge difference. So you don't have a long-term debt that you have to service over a number of months or over a number of years. It's short-term, it's instant, it's fast, it's safe, it's secured, it solves your emergency immediately.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And so I think viewers would like to know, what are the processes? Is it a simple process, or you'd have to go through an ambiguous? What is the process like?
So, Peter, it's incredibly simple.
Okay.
All you need to do is to download the GCB app if you have not done so yet. You can get it on the Play Store, the App Store, or the Huawei App Gallery. You download, you use your credentials, log in, or your biometrics. Once you are logged in, you see the more services.
Okay.
You tap on the more services, you see salary advance. You select salary advance, you see how much you are eligible for.
Okay.
You enter the amount, you accept terms and conditions, you submit, and instantly your account is credited.
Okay.
Instantly, within seconds, your account is credited. You receive an SMS to also give you an alert on how much on the loan that you have requested for.
So basically, it means that it's for those who have accounts with GCB Bank.
Yes. So first of all, you must have an account with GCB Bank. Must be a salary worker whose salary passes through your GCB account, either your current account or your savings account or a salaried account. Those whose salaries, they are receiving their salaries through their savings account, can migrate the account on the app to a salaried account immediately during the process, and you can access the loan.
All right. So, Madam, let me come to you. So we'll talk about the interest, but I want to find out who qualifies and how much can one access.
So every salaried worker with an existing GCB account qualifies immediately. If you're not banking with GCB, this is an opportunity for you to onboard, join the salary advance wagon, onboard onto GCB. You bring your salary in for 6 months, and after the 6th month, you qualify to take the salary advance. You can take as small as 100 cedis and a maximum of 20,000. So it all depends on how much you qualify for, but you have the opportunity to take as small as 100 cedis, maybe just some urgent momo you need to send to a relative in the village somewhere who needs to buy paracetamol or buy something over the counter. And you can also take as much as 20,000, so long as your salary band qualifies you to take that.
Interesting. That's very interesting. And so I want to find out if, like you rightly stated, that you need to have an account with GCB Bank. What if you just open an account? Can you enjoy this offer immediately?
No. So there's a waiting period because we're using AI, and there's an algorithm that actually processes to check your eligibility, whether you qualify. So we need that consistency of your salary having passed through the account for 6 consecutive times. Then the system is able to assess and pre-approve you more or less. So there's that waiting time of 6 months to qualify. But if you're already with us, I mean, it's today.
So it means that if you just open an account, you have a 6 months period before you're qualified to enjoy that offer. Now let me come to you, madam. Let's talk about the interest and the repayment plan. How is it like?
Okay. So the good thing is that the repayment is against your net salary. It's an advance. So we are advancing you a loan against your net salary. So the moment your net salary hits your account, the repayment is automatically done. Okay. So for instance, if you take the salary on the 10th of the month and your salary is paid on 26th, on the 26th, once the salary hits your account, the repayment is automatically done. So the good thing is that GCB has the super low interest currently on the market with our salary advance. There is an upfront fee of 2.5% processing fee. Then the interest per month is 2.17%.
Okay.
So if you apply for a loan of about 1,000 cedis,
okay,
you are going to pay a processing fee of 25 cedis.
Okay.
And then an interest for the loan is a 30-day tenor loan.
Okay.
So if it runs for the full 30 days, you are going to pay 21 cedis, 17 pesos.
Okay.
But because the good thing that we are calculating the interest daily, so if the loan runs for just 5 days, you are going to pay only the interest on the 5 days. It's not like others where if the loan runs for just about 5 days, you have to pay the full monthly interest. So is this affordable and very cheap?
Interesting.
And everything happens on the app.
On the app.
You know, we have the GCB app. It's an award-winning app. Even this year, we won an award for it.
Interesting. Interesting. Now it's getting interesting. So I want to ask, how many times can one access this offer in a month? Or it's just once? You can only access it in the month, just once in a month.
Yeah, thanks, Peter, for the question.
Okay.
So it works like a revolving kind of credit line.
Okay.
So if you wait till your salary drops at the end of the month, as Phyllis said, then it means you can take it once a month.
Okay.
But let's say you take it today and within 5 days you pay it off without waiting for your salary. You get some windfall, a credit came into your account and you decide to pay it off. Immediately you become eligible to take it again. So the power is in your hands actually. We're giving the convenience to you to take it as many times as you can, so long as you keep paying it off. Pay it off, it becomes accessible to you immediately. But if you wait till your salary comes, it means you take it once a month. You take it when your salary comes and it's cleared off, you are back to credit, you are eligible to take it again.
All right, that's very interesting. And so does the amount that you gain increases over time, especially like you say you give as low as 100 cedis and as high as 20,000. Does it increase over time if you get enrolled on this platform?
So it's all dependent on your income band.
Okay.
Because the system looks at how much you're earning.
Okay.
And based on how much you're earning, you are allowed to take 80% of that amount.
Okay.
So that is what we've kind of figured to say between 100 and 20,000. But you qualify for 80% of your income upfront before your salary comes in. I mean, how exciting can it be?
It cannot be better.
Then let me come to you again. Why should a viewer choose, GCB digital loan advance?
Yes, thank you for that question. So the GCB salary advance is secured, it's fully digital. It's convenient. It's available 24/7 and even on weekends when the banking halls are closed. And with the super low interest that we have, you can't get it anywhere. For instance, if you take the loan and while the loan is running, you decide that you have gotten some funds into your account and you want to pay off, there's a manual repayment process on the app. You just go there and then you can pay off the loan and immediately you can qualify to take another.
That's very interesting. And then I can see the vast differences here. Do you have something to add up?
Yeah, just to say that, I mean, we're putting convenience in the power of the hands of our customers.
Yes.
We know that there's a lot of traffic in town these days. the banking halls are choked and the staff are busy, you don't need to travel to any branch to add to the traffic. You can sit at the comfort of your home, and with your GCB mobile app on your smartphone, you will be able to access that. We are also currently working on putting this on USSD, so that even those who don't have smartphones can access this with their young phones as well. So we're not just looking at those who have smartphones. We are aggressively far advanced in getting it onto USSD to allow people who don't have smartphones to also have access to this.
So as we like to tell me, those who use yam. So
exactly. I mean, with GCB, we are the bank for everybody. So we don't want to cut anybody out from benefiting from this fantastic solution that we put on the market. So the reason why we are going beyond, over and above our call of duty, to make sure that every salaried worker in Ghana has that solution to meet those emergencies. I mean, there are life events that happen that you don't have control over. But we don't want you to go through the stress of thinking, how am I going to solve this? So this is coming to enable you to have that peace of mind, enable you to take away that stress of those unplanned events.
Interesting. Before we go, I have seen loan origination system. What is it, and why should customers take advantage of this?
Yeah, so every day, I mean, the landscape is changing, it's becoming digital, and all banks are moving towards a digital solution to bring convenience, as I did mention earlier, to our customers. So at GCB, we are going fully digital with our personal loan solution. And that is what we mean by loan origination system. This system, which we're currently piloting, and we'll be launching it out very soon. So we just want our customers to be aware of it, that very soon, even with the personal loans, you don't need to go to our branches. You can sit in your office, at home, and start the process, go online, still on our website, and then go through the steps, and you can apply for a personal loan. So that is where we are going as a bank.
All right. So let me come to you, madam. Does it mean that it's available for individuals and businesses as well?
Mean the loan origination?
Yes.
Yeah, so for now, it's available for salaried workers, personal loan, and then pensioners whose salary passes to GCB Bank.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
But we are going to add on. This is what we have immediately. This is what we have
for the short term.
For the short term.
All right. Thank you very much. And all too soon, our time has come to an end. So I'd like to take your last words to viewers. And if there's a message from GCB Bank you would like to share with viewers too.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you to your beautiful audience for, admitting us into your offices and your homes this morning and bringing this good news. We're just bearers of good news, bringing you good news on our salary advance. We want to thank you for your custom, and we want to urge you to take advantage of this beautiful opportunity to sign onto our mobile app. If you don't have it now, please go onto your app store. You can go to Play Store and download the GCB app and tap. You get your salary advance credited into your account. Thank you very much.
Madam.
Yes. So we want to thank you at this point for listening to us. GCB will continuously thinking of our customers, how we can make life easier for you. So we keep developing and designing products which we'll bring to you from time to time. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, you both, for coming. It's a pleasure having you. And this has been a conversation on GCB Digital Salary Advance. And you heard them. Everything, it's a very juicy offer. And so if you don't have an account with GCB, kindly do it now. 80% of your salary. You can't get it anywhere except GCB. Thank you very much for sticking and staying with us. I'm your host, Peter Nsia. Up next is the main discussion with Yaira Awono. Please do stay with us.
You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show. And if you're just tuning in, it's time for our main discussion. And as April is the month of autism awareness, we are going to be having a conversation around the autism spectrum disorder. And we have a guest here. We were supposed to have two. We're going to have Dr. Abhishek Nima as well, but unfortunately he did not make it. So we'll get him another day so that we speak to autism spectrum disorder as well on the medical front and even, psychiatric front. But we have Mr. Nicholas Kwarting here. He is the head of the Haven International Center for Special Education. Now, this is a school that is a specialized institution that is providing tailored education and life skills training for children with developmental and learning differences, including autism. So he's here with us and we'll be talking about autism spectrum disorder. Aside the awareness, we need to move forward into integrating it into our society, accepting that this is a part of human life as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining
You're
us
welcome.
today. Right. So now, before we even start, we need to know that about 30 years ago, the diagnosis of autism was usually met with shame or even silence. But today we're talking about it. We're making more and more awareness. And that is some progress, actually. And awareness on its own is not enough. We also need to try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Try to accommodate these things into our society better, just like the West is doing. So building of schools, as we have a guest here who has a school, we also need to make sure that there's therapy for people with autism, people with all the other disorders as well. So we are going to ask that, as we are watching this conversation today, we are going to take away the impact of, accepting and embracing autism, trying to clear any misconceptions, any myths around it, and any prejudices that we have. So, yes, now coming to you, you have a school, so which means that you have a fair...
Correction on that. I'm
you are the head of the school. Okay,
Exactly.
sorry about that. So you have a fair idea of the autism spectrum disorder. So since Dr. Abhishek is not here, you're going to have to try to educate us a little about what you know about autism.
Okay, so thank you for the platform and also good morning to all your viewers. So autism is a lifelong neurodevelopmental condition where it affects the way the person interacts, communicates, and also relates with other people in the society. Yes, so it's a part of a spectrum because we have varied challenges and strength of every person.
Right.
That's why we term that as a spectrum. We can't say that they are all the same. Exactly.
Okay.
So with autism, the month that we are in is April, and it's an autism awareness month, obviously. So we have to, continue with the advocacy, promote inclusion and all that, and make people understand autism.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we say it's a spectrum, is it that it's the levels of severity, or there are just varied names there are types of autism?
So it's a spectrum because autism is part of the spectrum.
Okay.
We have other, types that like learning challenges, let me say. So we have the Asperger's, dyslexia, we have the cerebral palsy, all those are parts of the spectrum. So autism is also part of the spectrum.
Okay. So do we have types of autism too? Because sometimes we hear something like high functioning autism and then low functioning.
Okay, so within the autism, that's where we have the symptoms or probably the signs that people exhibit showing that they are, having this condition. So for example, people are unable to make eye contact, which is part of the symptoms or some of the signs that you see early. Also, we have, people not being able to interact, like having a conversation like what we are doing right now. So all those are part of the signs, about a person with autism.
Okay. So since you are head of the school, I'll try not to bombard you with the medical questions, but tell us about the school, the Haven International Center. I'm trying to get the name quickly in the document. Yes.
International for Special Education.
Haven International Center for Special Education.
Exactly.
Yes. So tell us about the school, where it's located, how do we get in, what are the criteria for, admission? And not to make the question long, but I know that there are some of these schools that have age limits. So maybe you can also touch on that for your school too.
Okay, so Haven International has been in existence since 2011, and the inspiration came from Dr. Genevieve Kumaple, who happens to have a child with autism, but she's in the US, so she's also Ghanaian, of course, and she came to Ghana, contacted, some people to team up to come up with, Haven International. So we have our co-director and founder, Madam Jennifer Brock. So together with Dr. Kumaple and her husband, they came up with, Haven International. And it's been in existence, for quite a number of years now, 15 years and over. Yes. So what we usually do is that we are creating an environment that, like an inclusive environment that supports children with autism and also to empower them to reach their, full potential in life. Exactly. So we do have a series of services that we run over there, and we have the applied behavioral service, applied behavioral analysis service. It's like a therapy. We have the speech, we have the occupational therapy, we have the jumpstart for early intervention, and we also run a vocational training program. Yes. So usually when you go for diagnosis and you are, your child is being diagnosed that he or she has autism, you come in, we enroll the child, under our jumpstart for early intervention. So before that too, we also run some kind of assessments for the kids to get to know their potentials and their strength and the needs that we also have to work more on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
that's it. Right. So with the behavioral therapy, what does that entail?
Okay, so behavioral therapy, more or less like the other therapies, more or less an evidence-based approach that is well-proven and it's effective in the classrooms. So usually, let me give you a scenario. When you're teaching a child something, you have to break the whatever lesson that you are teaching. You have to break them in small or manageable steps for the child to be able to understand the concept. So in behavior, we have something called discrete trial learning, which is like you have to break down the lesson into smaller or maybe manageable steps, like I said, for the child to be able to understand it. And, teaching is being done via repetition and also using on positive reinforcement. All those are techniques that we use in behavior, analysis therapy. Exactly.
Okay, so I don't know, we seem to be limiting it to children, but do you also have older people dealing or living with autism? Sorry.
Yes, we do have. So usually when we look at the age, sometimes, children beyond age 15, we just have to enroll them in vocational training, at least to equip them with some vocational skills. Then we take it from there. When they are able to master the skill, we do more production works, then we sell them as well. So when the money comes, eventually the parents will enjoy, the children will enjoy. So indirectly, we are trying to get the children to learn a vocational skill. So we have a vocational skill department where we train them, in terms of how to make beads, how to use bamboos to make, baskets, bamboo fans. All those are part of the things that we do over there, to help them to get those,
Okay, so you know how they say that by age 5, a child has already developed their personality and things like that. So how are you able to, enroll these people or these students with autism in the school when they're above 5 years old for their behavioral training or behavioral rehabilitation?
So like I made mention of the assessment scales that we use. So usually when we check on the child's level, then we move the child to maybe a class. So we have designated classes for the children. So if we start with the early intervention, when we realize that the child really needs that early intervention, we will situate the child in a very classroom that would help him or her to understand certain things. Then when we get, a more like kind of improvement in the child, then we move to a different class. You get it? So it's like a gradual step that we take. It shouldn't be rushed. It should be progressive. Let me say it that way. Yeah.
So assuming a viewer today realizes that Haven International is here, but they have a child or a teenager who's also autistic and is hyperactive, destructive, all of that, and they come that please do something about his destructive behavior for me. what would it look like in Haven International?
So, like I said, we have a team of professionals that we come together.
Okay.
So we have something called IEP, Individualized Education Plan. So based on the assessment that we've already done, we'll see the areas that we have to work more on. So based on that, we have the occupational therapy that would also work more on the challenges that we are facing or the child is facing.
Okay.
Then we have the teachers too. So together, like the whole team will work on the IEPs, like the individual target that we've set for the children. So when we achieve that, then we move further to maybe another class, or probably we can even integrate them in the mainstream where they can even join the others to, further learn more things that they have to learn. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this one is, can you share a story about maybe a child who was brought there and, the journey of transformation and, what difference it made?
Okay. So I'm not going to mention the child's name because of confidentiality. Okay. So there used to be this child that came to Haven at the age of 2 years. Initially, he wasn't making words, or he wasn't trying to maybe say something for you to understand. Yes, he wasn't saying all those things. So we've worked with this child for quite a number of years, like 2 years maximum, yes. And eventually, we have some techniques that we use to first help the child to identify what exactly is this object. Like if we are to tell the child that what is this, the child should be able to say or mention the item's name. So it's a process. So constantly we have to repeat whatever activity we do with the child, then also encourage them through the positive reinforcement methods that I mentioned. Yes. So all those things are some of the things that we do for the child to understand us. So another thing is that we have some terms in ABA that maybe I can share with you. We have the MAND, the TACT. All those are part of the activities that we try to teach the child. So, for example, we want the child to know how to make a request. So we have to teach the child now that, okay, this is a table, this is biscuit. So in case maybe you want a biscuit, you have to say maybe I want biscuit. So the child knowing that this is biscuit and that is also table would now pick biscuit. And in a way, if the child gives you the picture of a biscuit, that means he or she wants the biscuit. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I do.
Exactly. So it's a learning process. So now that the child is able to identify what a biscuit is and what a table is, in case maybe the child wants to go to the table and brings a picture of a table, you, the teacher or the specialist, because you work with the child, you know that maybe the child wants to have access to the table. So you quickly, take the child to the table. That's an example. So same for water and others. So now, this particular child that I'm talking about, when he came, he's a he. Yeah. So when he came, eventually he wasn't saying words, he wasn't, making sounds and all that. But now, surprisingly, he's even able to form sentences, like use 2 words to form sentences, 3 words to form sentences. So probably if he wants to use the washroom, the child will come to you, I want to pee, I want to wee-wee, I want to poo, and all that. At least it's encouraging because, those little things are a great achievement for us.
Right.
For a child not being able to say a word and now, constructing 2 or more sentences, I mean, it's quite impressive. So it's something that is remarkable when you see those, progress in the child. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
So with coming back to the spectrum where we have even non-verbal kids and all of that, how are you able to have all of them in one space with different needs at different levels?
Yes, so it's a tough one. So I made mention of the assessment again and the IEP, the Individualized Education Plan. So based on the assessment that we've run, so we would just, tailor, what do you call it, the lessons per the child's strength and needs. So meaning every child should have, an IEP or something like for the child. It should be personal. It should be different from the others because autism is not the same. Like I said, it's a wide, something that we all have to identify the challenges and the strength and everything, then work with that.
Right.
So based on that, we develop individualized education plans, like individualized lesson plan. If you go to the regular schools, I think the teachers do have lesson plan, but theirs is more or less like for the whole class. But ours is quite different because they are all unique in their own ways. So we have to make them unique for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in making your learning plans unique like that, do you have enough, do you face a challenge where maybe the demand is higher than the supply of teachers?
Of course. So in our setting, let me say Ghana, sometimes getting trained professionals to work with you is quite challenging. And it's something that we are trying to, through this Autism Awareness Month, to advocate and make people understand that we should value neurodiversity. Sometimes even getting people to come and work for you is quite challenging.
Yeah.
We don't have enough, let me say, human resources to come and support. But the little ones that we have, we try to motivate them, show some incentives and all that. So when they come, of course, they have to, show, at least the work is more or less like you have to have the passion and be committed. So when you come like that, we surely, make that work for you. Then, with that alone, you can also help the child because we all want the progress for the child. So.
All right. So piggybacking off of that, honestly, what is the hardest part of running an autism-focused institution?
Yeah, it's very, very tough. So the hardest is the limited funding, then also high operational cost. Then again, like I mentioned earlier, the shortage of trained professionals. But let me go back to the limited funding. I mean, more or less, it's a private entity. I understand, but we just need some, government support here and there to at least ease up some of these burdens on the institutions, because it's a great work. And the fees are not, if I'm to say, are not that massive because we have to consider the parents.
Yeah.
Most of the families are unable to even afford for the therapy services, and it's quite challenging because you can't just have the child in the house all the time, making them, see whatever is happening in the world. You don't let them see. I mean, you just limit them in the room and all that, but it's unfair, They have potentials, so we just have to bring them out, harness those potentials and make them great in the future.
All right. Okay. So the hardest part is the funding,
and
the resources. So please, this is an appeal for funds. Any, private institutions or individuals and also government institutions that would like to support, this is all part of our corporate social responsibility. Let's try to help these people. This is amazing work you're doing, I must say. And do you also face any stigma when it comes to trying to recruit people?
Exactly. So because of the stigma, so sometimes even enrollment is even, affected because people don't understand the condition. So to the extent to tell the person that, okay, your child is diagnosed with autism, so he or she has to be in school, the parents will be like, no, what will you do in the school? To them, there are some misconceptions. People think, it's spiritually related conditions and all that. So they will take their children to, seek some spiritual guidance and, some, I don't know exactly. So because of that, it's kind of makes it difficult to enroll students in the school setting. But we just have to continue with the advocacy, promoting, the awareness and all that for them to understand that, okay, when your child is diagnosed with autism, quickly seek for early intervention and we'll get the results from that. Yeah.
Okay. So what would you then term as early intervention? Because looking at today's parents, everybody's going to work and all of that. So they realize, maybe there's something off about my child, but nothing significant they can put a finger on. If the child grows up to about 10 years, is it still early intervention?
No. So early intervention starts from the moment that the child has been diagnosed. So like from 2 years going, usually that's the phase that autism, usually they detect that people have been, diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
So from then, because the brain is, still forming as at that stage. And it's easily for the brain to capture whatever that you input. You understand? So if you are to bring your child so early like that, with the therapies and the support system, definitely there will be massive progress. Okay. That's why we usually have this tag early intervention. You understand?
Right.
So, yes.
Okay. I've noticed I'm getting a call on the WhatsApp number, please. The number on your screen is strictly for WhatsApp messages and SMSs. When the phone lines are opened, I will also alert you so that you can call. But for now, please send messages, your questions and your comments on WhatsApp or for SMS. So, yes, I think that I would want to ask about the the teachers, yes. Assuming someone is watching and, has passion to help people, try to do some of these beautiful, amazing works that you do, what are the qualifications a person needs to now become a teacher or a specialist with your institution, or even these institutions that run these programs for people with autism?
First, we have a special ed. Like at Winneba, we have a department that train, special education teachers. And obviously, when we go to other departments like University of Ghana, we have psychology students. And we have, the speech department also. So all those ones, occupational therapy, like from the allied health department, they are all part of the team. So together, when they come, then we would, further, we do some series of trainings, professional training, even though you have your whatever knowledge on any specialty. So when you come, we do take you through some professional training time to time, just to get you equipped with, the current strategies that helps best, to improve the conditions of the children.
All right. Okay. So I would like to also alert you that, yes, the phone lines have now been opened. So you please do well to call the number. Please take note of the numbers. There's a WhatsApp number and then there's a call number. So you can now call and ask your questions as our guest is here ready to answer as well. So let's say the person has finished, let me use myself. I finished my undergrad and it's nothing related to psychology or, occupational therapy. And I want to, venture into this field. What processes would I need to go through?
Okay, so first off, since you are committed and you have the passion, that's a plus for us.
Okay.
So when you come, obviously we'll take you through, some series of trainings. We do have, materials that would also assist you to understand the condition and how best you can teach the children.
Okay.
So definitely the doors are open for any individual out there who wants to come on board and join the team. I mean, it's more or less like a committed work, a committed service, like more or less like what the doctors do. Yes. So if you have the passion and you want to channel it to helping, children with autism and other, learning disabilities, I mean, you can just come on board. We'll train you on that. Yeah.
Okay. So this topic actually hits close to home, as I said earlier backstage. So I want to ask, because of personal experience, where I've experienced the fact that you get a help at home to, help with the child, and then they get fed up and become cruel to the child. So in this case, linking it to the school, are there any monitoring or evaluations that you do before, during, and even after these specialists are enrolled as specialists also?
Yes. So let me bring in this one too. So parents are also trained, caregivers are also trained. So we all come together to work.
Okay.
So our place, for example, or let me say Haven International, for example, what we do is that when we finish with every daily activity, we keep records.
Okay.
You understand? So yes, so some of these we have records. We will make sure that the parents also get feedbacks on that. Then eventually, if there's any recommendation or problems that they've seen at home, like they will prompt us on that.
Okay.
Then together we work together to just figure out how best we can solve the situation. If there is any problem or challenging behavior that we have to address, we'll come together, share thoughts on that, and give the parents also some guidance for them to understand how to go about it at home.
So what about your teachers and specialists in your institution?
Yeah.
Are there any ways you check to be sure that, okay, these teachers are not fed up and starting to, mistreat the kids?
So we have cameras in our classrooms, so we monitor every bit of that. And as the head, of course, I have to go around and be checking on them as well. So we have, like, that checking is very, very crucial. Okay. We don't want a situation where a parent will come and will be like, my child is, hurt, my child has done that. So we have to be, straight on that, on the watching of the kids here.
So like I said, because it hits close to home, I would like to also ask that, is there some sort of counseling and therapy for the caregivers and then the teachers in your institution as well? Because dealing with having to, take care of these kids and teach them is a beautiful task.
So we have some emotional groups. I'm sure most of the parents, participate in those emotional groups just to share their thoughts, and sometimes they share ideas on how to handle certain situations. same for us teachers too. Yes, we do organize some series of meetings on monthly basis to just share idea. If there is a challenge that you think you're finding it difficult to handle, you share for us all to discuss. If we come up with the best of strategies, then we work with that. Yeah.
Okay. So have you had situations where some of the specialists you have decide that what, this is no longer for me, so I'm quitting or something of the sort? Okay.
So far, unless maybe it's family related or health related.
Okay.
Sometimes you need, something to attend to some medical, need or something. That's the only incidents that I've, come to know. But on personal terms, no, I've not, like where we have a situation where a child has, hit a teacher,
yes.
Then the teacher will be like, no, I will not come again. No, I've not had the encounter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So viewers, Haven International has committed teachers who will not give up on your autistic child. So please, this is a place to consider. So we have a question here. This one says, okay, we have actually two. So it says, imagine a child with autism comes to your school and begins to struggle with lessons and social interaction. What practical steps would you take from the first day you notice the challenge to helping the child fully settle and learn effectively? This is Mrs. Boachi Yadom.
Okay. Can I go ahead with that? Okay.
Yes,
so
please.
I made mention of we have some sensory equipment, calming tools. All those are part of our materials that we use at Haven. So we have designated rooms that we have our calming instruments and equipment there. So we'll take the child to the room for the occupational therapy to work with the child. When the child remain calm, then we bring back, we take the child to the classroom to engage in whatever activity the teachers, are doing in the classroom. So all those are in place. We have, I think maybe you have to come around, for an excursion or something. Then you attest to that. Yes. Right. So we have a lot over there.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for calling the Koko Digest Morning Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
I'm Kwame and I'm calling from Accra.
All right, let's hear you, Kwame.
Yes. So as a parent, when should I be worried and say that, okay, I think I need to see a specialist? Like the brain of the child. The child is trying to form words. I know, okay, if he's unable to form 3 words now, it will take some time. But then, when should I be worried? Probably the child is 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. When should I be worried to say that, okay, this time I think I really need to see a specialist?
Okay, thank you for the question. So I made mention of some of the signs and symptoms. At the early stage, when the child is unable to make eye contact, it's a sign. Okay. You understand? At least when your eyes are moving to a different direction, your child should be, if the child is with you, the child should be able to follow that, direction. So when you are trying to talk to the child and the child is not looking at you, one, I would say you have to take note of that. But you can't immediately diagnose a child to be an autistic person or a child with autism. You have to go to the hospital for the doctors and the specialists to run, some assessment scales and programs for them to confirm that the child has autism. Okay. Yeah.
So, piggybacking off his question, I think even new parents, they are usually told that a certain time frame in so from the newborn age to maybe about 5, there are certain key times in their growth that certain activities should start popping up. Yeah. So like maybe from 8 to 1 year, 8 months to 1 year, we should start seeing them trying to walk. Or crawling or something. So with that one too, what are the things you should see before you be like, I might have to take my child to the hospital?
Okay, so like you made mention of that, crawling and all that. So, at a point in your life or at that early stage, you are trying to help the child to grow or to develop. So when you realize that, so at age 2, the child is unable to probably hold a pencil to write or hold a pencil to scribble, you mark that. You check again if the child is unable to interact with you or to say ma, ba, like all those cooing sounds and all that. If the child is unable to produce those sounds, you mark it somewhere. Then the immediate thing to do is to go to the specialist, because they can give you the accurate assessment. Sometimes too, we have some children who are late, like they develop late.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can't quickly say that because I'm not seeing all these things, I have to rush to the whatever doctors to tell them that my child is not making eye contact. So strictly, I want to understand. I mean, sometimes you just monitor the situation. If it's severe, that's where you have to draw the attention of the specialist. You understand?
Right.
So with that, I can tell that most of the parents, when they are able to detect before age 2, that's where they seek the early intervention. So I would then treat everybody before age 2. If you see some of these signs, quickly go to the specialist for them to run some few tests on the child, and we would know what to do next. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure there are some anxious parents watching us, so I'll ask this question. Is there a specific test that is run in the hospital to detect autism?
Oh, it's not complicated. So I can give you an example. We have the Pearson assessment.
Okay.
We have the VB map, verbal, behavior milestone assessment, placement program. So we shorten it to VB map. So all those things, they are kind of, how should I say, they've been categorized.
Okay.
So in terms of communication, the specialist I'm giving you an example of one of the skills. Yes. So the specialist will ask you questions that are relating to communication. When it comes to behavior, same for the questions. We have levels of questions that they will ask you, the parent. So if the child or the children are unable to meet all those levels, then meaning there is a problem somewhere. So it's not like they would put you in a machine then assess you.
Okay.
You understand? But we have situations where if it's auditory something, we have to check on that to see or to know whether the child can hear sounds or something. Yes. And with a revision to sometimes to probably maybe the lens, and so we do all those checks before we can go ahead with the assessment scales too.
Okay.
Yes.
So with the incidence of awareness, increasing in the past few years, somebody might say that as a autism, is it that it is a new thing happening to everybody? So with that kind of question, would you also encourage parents to just make sure to do those checks, for the early detection?
Oh, yes. So the moment you bring forth your child and before age 2, or let's say after age 1, and you realize some of these signs, quickly you can just prompt the specialist and they would attend to you.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm saying it's a lifelong neurodevelopmental issue. So you can't say that you wait when the child gets to 3 years or 4 years before you can go to the specialist. I mean, at that early stage, if you realize that some of these things are there and they are popping up, you just prompt the specialist so that the early intervention and the support systems will be put in place to get the best, for the child.
Okay, so what programs do you also run for parents and people who just want to learn more about autism? So
we have the ABA, the Applied Behavioral Analysis, popularly called the ABA, yes. So under it, we have, how to manage behaviors, challenging behaviors. We also have how to make use of positive reinforcement, and is a way to say like the reward system, how to make use of that.
Yeah.
Yes. Then we have calming strategies that we can use best at home. So all those are part of the activities that under ABA you will learn as a parent. Okay. Then with the speech too, yes, we have some simple activities that you can be doing, but the professionals know best. So you, the parents, too, because of your time schedules and all that, sometimes it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because when the child, it takes a lot of patience. When the child says, "I won't do it," you give up. But the professional, you have to insist.
Yeah.
Not like in a an aggressive way, but in a very strategic way to get the child's attention and all that. So most of the works are being done by the professionals, and when you go home as well, the parents also continue from there.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So all too soon, our time is up, and I want to request for the key thing you would like to tell parents out there, people who want to also get into helping autistic kids, and then also the government, all in one.
Okay. So I would say that, we should all, like society, we should all come to the realization that it is part of us now. So we should value neurodiversity. We should embrace it. We should accommodate them. And we should also try to help them to, be living impactful life. When we teach them the skills, they will learn. They are not dumb. No. They are obviously human beings, and when you teach them, we have something called learning. So when you teach them to learn, they will know. They can also live independent lives like us. So we should just, inculcate the support systems and everything that we would need to help them live those, lives that we are expecting them to live. Then also on the part which is more touching to me is the funding. I would kindly appeal to the government that there should be more of these supports, for the stakeholders and every entity. Usually sometimes when we have programs, we do write to them, but they don't show up. So it's quite challenging. So I would entreat everybody, the gurus in the societies, you can all come on board and help out. Our children need us more than,
All right. Okay, so before we go, I would like to, request for maybe your socials, your location, so that anybody watching who would want to contact you and collaborate
all right. Okay.
So we can find you on...
so we are on Facebook, Haven International. We are on IG, Haven International too. So we are on, what's the other platform?
TikTok.
So yeah, YouTube too. You can see us the Haven International Center.
Okay.
Yes. Then on our website to havenint.org. Yes.
Havenint.org.
.org.
Can you spell that for us, please?
So Haven, Haven, int, INT.
Oh, int. Okay.
Yes. .org.
.org. Okay.
Yes.
And what about a phone number?
Okay. So you can contact us on 030.
Okay.
397
030
397 5973. So we have several numbers. Let me share all with you all.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So we have 057
250
66 31.
Right.
We also have 059 602 7558. And we have 026 26 49 617. Yes.
Right. So these are the numbers to contact Haven International Center for Special Learning, Special Education. Yes. So their website is Haven Int, right?
Yes.
Havenint.org. So please do well to find them on social media, Haven International as well. And, support however you can, collaborate with them as well. And yes, this is the end of the Koko Digest Morning Show for today and for the month of April, as April is the Autism Awareness Month as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you too for educating us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And yes, this is a goodbye. We hope to see you in May. And yes, tomorrow is May Day, so a happy May Day in advance to all workers. Let us keep up the good work for our nation, Ghana. Do have an amazing weekend ahead.